Crucial still consensually mine. One day we'll all lock out of the government. It'll crumble under its own dead weight. 'Cause dreams do come true. Darling, I believe in you. I'll always read you 8 out of 8. Come back and tap. I'll mine all the Bitcoin in the world. We'll never turn right or left. Taxation will always be theft. And you'll be my ANCAP girl. Come back and tap. These companies everywhere make me want to hurl. But our love will always be strictly voluntary. And you'll be my ANCAP girl. Yeah, you'll be my ANCAP girl. You'll always be my ANCAP girl.
Woo, lads.
Hi, guys.
Wow.
Thanks for coming
Yeah,
in.
thanks for stopping in. Welcome to Liberty Late Night.
Yes, I'm Mary.
Dave.
That's Dave.
Well, and we got to move quick because we got we got the
Spike coming
countdown.
on, yes.
Because we do things on the show before we have our guest on. So if you're just here for Spike and you want to do something for 10 minutes, but you might want to hang out and kind of feel the flow of the show.
Yeah. How's everybody doing, guys? It's already September 18th, 2020. There's a little bit of breaking news.
Oh, yeah,
today,
breaking news.
Just about an hour and a half ago. That
Yeah,
you probably already know.
Breaking news. Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. That just cuts it right off, doesn't it?
87.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing at.
No, we're not
death.
laughing
No,
at
sorry.
somebody dying. That's not cool. But Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg did die today.
Yes,
at 87.
officially. Yes. So.
I had to whip that up real quick. It's
Real
not
fast.
super
Real.
hot.
Yeah. Don't scare the noobs. Okay. So yeah, we got Spike 9 minutes. 9 minutes and 40 seconds. So.
Kind of nervous. We're not used to these numbers. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Carl. Hi, Gary.
Oh, yeah.
Garrett.
We gotta
Yes.
say hi to
Wabi
some
Sabi.
friends.
Sunny. Michaela. Clint. Echo. Ryan.
Wabi Sabi. I got a button for you. It's a
Jay's
filler
here.
button, but
Hi, Jerry.
all right,
Mike. Yay, we got a Seth button now. That's awesome.
We got
Hey,
the
Blaine's
Hondas.
over there.
All
See you
right,
on
we gotta
Flow
say hi to
over
all of
there.
our friends because our friends are
Fat
our
Chance
show.
Bear. Hello.
There's
Yes.
Josh.
Just want to say that taxation is
Hello.
theft.
Joshua?
Yay. Hi, Layla. Hi. Hi, Josh.
Ladle.
Joe Biden is here. James.
What's up, James?
Hello. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for coming in. We're super excited to have Spike on. And we do a little, we should probably get right into the
Yeah, we
giveaway
just keep
thing,
moving.
you know? Yeah. So every week, if you're new here, for the patrons for LLN, we give something away on Friday nights because it's just fun. And a lot of times, it's only been about a month that we've been doing it, and it's, you know, silly and fun. But tonight we decided to pick some
stuff.
silly, fun things to give
Okay,
away.
yeah, because we're running out of ideas. So if anybody wants to give ideas for like a $20 gift or something
I
like
was
that,
laughing,
but here's what we
but
got today.
There's two things, okay? So you can make your own drinking game out of it. But those are urinal shot glasses there and desktop cornhole.
Yeah.
So I might ask for these things for Christmas. that's what we're giving away is the urinal shot glasses and the desktop cornhole. So I could see me and Dave playing something like that, So
Spin the wheel. Winner gets to be SCOTUS.
oh yeah, there you go. There you
wait.
go. That's what we're giving away.
Get a few
so
more friends while I see him.
hey Ryan. Hey Joey. Joey's here. Joey's awake. He's still awake. Oh yeah.
All right,
the 3D
so
printers.
let's-
Oh, Juan's here. Do you want to say hi to Juan?
Yeah, I'll say hi to one.
Real
Hello,
quick.
Juan.
Nick Maples, hello. We're spinning the wheel before Spike, Patricia. We're going to do it real quick because we want to be able to get
Yeah, we
him
want to have
on here.
everything
Yeah,
done.
so.
Hey, there's another Seth.
Hi, sir. Dave was looking for a new button. So Trey's here. Hi, Trey. Trey and Juan are hanging out.
I did have. Oh yeah, I have a trade.
So 7 minutes, guys. I had Dave make a timer so the folks
Ray, how you doing, baby?
who aren't usually here.
Oh, Mike's here.
We like to say hi to our friends. So
Friends make the show. Okay, let's go to the wheel and we'll get you guys hopefully before scenes.
Adam.
All right, here
All
we go.
right. Woo! Hey, Caleb. Today's the day. Hi. Oh my gosh. No smoke, Carl. Oh my gosh. How are things out there? You got to see your shadow. That's awesome. For the folks in California
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Washington, Oregon area who have been under a cloud of smoke for like a month.
Danny.
Hi guys. Carl says he finally got to see a shadow. So. And Kirk says that he didn't kill her. I believe you, Kirk. All right, so we're gonna do the wheel spin. Here, one myself and Luna say hi.
Morning, Trey.
Hi, Tim.
All right, so this is our way of saying thank you to our patrons. So we take all of our patrons, we put them in the wheel. Obviously, the more you give, the heavier your chances are. So you have more than one entry there. But we'll spin this real quick, get it done. We're excited. I love giving
Ryan's
stuff away.
wearing his shirt already.
All right, you ready?
Yes. All right, let's do this thing. Hi, Dwayne. What's going on? Seth is here. Sunny. I love this music. I do, Sunny. I love this. Ben sound. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Who's going to be winning the shot glasses and table?
It's Jacob.
Jacob! Are you still here? Are you I know you're at work, but are you still here in the comment section? You won! Oh my gosh, it's so exciting! I'm so excited. I'm so exciting. I'm so excited for you.
We're
Oh my
very
gosh,
excited.
seriously. Yay! All right. Thank you for tagging people, Caleb.
But
I
you won.
appreciate it. Yeah, but you won, Jacob. I know you're at work, but that's exciting that you got to win from them. So send us your address so we can mail it out to you. And yay! That was almost you,
That's why we
Joseph.
never call it because it keeps
Seriously,
going.
I know, right? Yeah.
I didn't touch the wheel at all.
Oh gosh. Hi, Martini.
What's up, bro?
Shoot, what's the very bottom tier? $2.
$2.
$2. It's the BRAP tier. BRAP. Yay! You're here. You won, Jacob. Awesome. David Andrew Gay's here. Hello. Hi. So many people. I know, right? He won. Do you want to show it again?
Yeah, we'll go back here.
We won Goofy this week. Some urinal shot glasses.
Oh, it was up there already. Okay.
And tabletop cornhole or desktop cornhole. So, but I might really though. I think that'd be a fun game. We should do that on the show sometime. Me and you play,
Yeah.
and people can take bets on
For
who's
shots.
going to win or lose. Patricia's working. I know a lot of folks tune in from work. That makes me feel good. Yeah, I love you guys.
If you can just stop in.
So, do you want to reach out to Spike right now? Like,
Well, I'm
or
gonna
does,
get the
does he just
Zoom open.
get the Zoom ready? So, yes. Oh, thanks, Martini. Awesome. Yay. What's up, Alexander? It was almost you. And the loosest. Oh, Aaron's over there on Float. Aaron was one of the people who lost his accounts on Facebook a couple weeks ago. So start the stream over now because he's here. Yeah. Yes. Let's see. Bill sponsor slip. What I'm working my new position. Oh, 3 midnights. I'm not so sure I'd be doing well on midnights. Laura!
You done messed up, AA Ron!
AA Ron.
Hi, Laura. Yeah.
Gotta get this prize to go away. There it is.
I know, because that means you're winning, right, Ryan? Yes. First time fun stuff. Awesome. Thanks for hanging out, Jamie.
Laura.
Yeah, cool. We try to keep it. I mean, usually it starts slow, but we had to start fast today. And
Yes.
we're
yeah.
all
Normally
wired
we're
up now.
we want to make sure that we get him on at 9:45. So, Yes, you're tuning in from the gym. Oh, I love it. I love it that people hang out with us from all over the place.
Okay, so you see two chats. This one over here is our new platform that we're streaming on that isn't
hold on,
incorporated
Jamie. Did
with.
you do Jamie's?
It isn't incorporated with Restream, which is I use to combine all these. This is Float over here, which is like almost like a zero censorship platform where we can do whatever we want over there. So sometimes we could go over there and play. So it's in its infancy, but it's really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
It's
spend a lot of your
still
time
kind of
there
beta.
now. Yeah, yep. Let's go Mary drinks. Oh yeah, geez. Let me see here. I did a shot before the show.
Did I do
I'm
one?
working
I
on
only
a
did the one.
beer right now, so yes.
Oh, I gotta crack mine open. I'm still working on
no,
the
we didn't
six
get
pack.
Spike a button. We didn't
No.
get him a button, but Dave
Yeah, I
did
didn't
make an
really know what to
awesome
do.
meme of all of us today in the.
Yes, I was up early
and
doing that.
he shared that, and then I saw people commenting, and they knew exactly where it was from. The folks on his, they
It's
made
from
comments about it.
Backcountry.
Yeah, exactly.
What's up, Meg? Oh, thanks. That's awesome. Yeah, we were never meant to be a
Thanks,
show.
Meg.
We just like to hang out with people, get to know people in the libertarian community.
Mm-hmm.
It just started in a small group with just our friends, and then somebody got Vermin Supreme on, and things kind of got out of control from there. Plus,
Hey,
I like.
Ben, I
I like
always
to build this
waved the
stuff.
wrong way. Yes. Yeah, we started out just holding the phone up on the couch and talking to people, and then we went out into the wild, and we've met even more
Yes.
people, and it's so fun and exciting.
YouTube
So-
has the lowest latency, though.
Oh yeah, we found that is.
Well, actually, Twitch does. So we do have a Twitch. There's usually not a lot of people there, though.
No, we didn't make a button for Spike, but I'm impressed
I couldn't
with
think of anything.
the meme that you made today was
Yeah,
real.
I was happy with it.
Yeah, I was really happy.
Especially
with it, too.
Spike, like his head to body, like
Everything
connection is
fit perfectly.
beautiful.
Yeah, I watch on YouTube on my TV and use Float on my phone for talking. Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
That's very smart. Andy, breaking news. We already did breaking news, Andy. You
Mm-hmm.
weren't here for it, right, Andy?
We start at the same time every week, Andy.
Andy's been a fan for like 2 years, so. No, what? Cardi B files for divorce? What?
Because she don't cook, she don't clean, and now she's getting divorced. Weird.
Oh,
That's fine.
man.
I'm not
yes.
a.
Garrett
what is
likes
that
your
called?
shirt. John Armin's here. Hi, John. John Armin. Yes.
The hair trigger.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites.
Shirt's on or off for Spike.
We're gonna keep him on at first. We're just gonna play it by ear, see how it goes.
See,
Oh,
see
Spike's
what
in the
we
waiting
say.
room.
All right, guys, let's bring him on.
Okay, so when I bring him in, we're not gonna be able to hear him. You know,
Okay.
And then we establish the connection, and then
Okay.
I will bring him in.
Okay.
He'll be able to hear us, though. I mean, we'll be able to hear him.
Hi.
What's up, Spike? Let me-
Oh,
let me
great.
start my
How are
video.
you? Awesome. Oh, yeah. We wanted to have the countdown because when folks.
Yeah, people who don't know us come in and they're like,
Yeah.
where the heck's Spike?
We're-
We're actually talking to you on stream and they're just waiting.
Oh, okay. Everybody get to wait for a minute. Now, are you going to bring him over now so
Yeah, I'll
that we
bring
get
him
to? Okay. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. It's
There we
me.
go.
Wow, I'm on a screen and
Yay.
everything.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Libertarian Vice Presidential nominee and
Yes.
co-owner of Muddied Waters Media,
Yes.
Spike Cohen.
Yay. Thanks for being here, Spike.
I'm so happy to be on. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
This is
So
so
I know
exciting.
you were talking with Dave. You guys had messaged back and forth and stuff. So I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Mary, the other half of the show.
doing?
I'm well. Very pumped to have you here. So you know what? I always start off by asking people this because it gives me hope that other people will find liberty and get outside of the two-party system. So I like to start off by asking folks how they found, liberty, libertarianism, whatever if you want to say anarchist or minarchist, whatever it is. But how did you get there? Did you grow up in a household that was like that, or did you find it somewhere else along the way?
That's a great question, Mary. And by the way, I just want to apologize, folks. I'm going to be drinking a lot of water because today is Rosh Hashanah. I have been eating a ton of smoked salmon because I am very Jewish.
Oh.
And I've had about 6 times my daily sodium intake,
Yeah, you
and
gotta-
I'm very parched.
Yeah, you gotta
have
flush
to-
that up.
Yeah, you
Well,
definitely
I'm
got to
drinking a lot of water. I'm trying to tell everyone.
We'll be drinking a lot too, so
Yeah,
it's fine.
not water.
Okay,
There's
good.
water in
Mine's
here.
water, so it's at least I'm staying hydrated. But anyway, so that's an excellent question. So it's interesting. I was raised in more of a conservative household, but I was also raised with a mindset of do not trust the government.
Okay.
And not just the standard talking conservative, like don't trust the government, but also, comply with every order you're given, but actually don't trust the government.
Literally don't.
My dad is a pre-boomer, grew up, hearing about, he was born in 1938. So as a very young kid remembers, World War II, remembers hearing as a kid growing up what happened to people in the Holocaust and everything else. So his whole concept was like, government can turn on people very quickly. Don't trust them. And they can make things bad in a pretty relatively short period of time. In a matter of a few years, it can go from everything's kind of pretty much okay to holy crap, we're being rounded up.
Yeah.
And so from that standpoint, he was always very do not trust government. Do not, and he was very big on, he served in the military. He was very big on, my son will never join in the military because of, what our military is used for instead of what it was supposed to be used for and all that stuff. But so an interesting thing happened. I started a web design company when I was 16 back in 1999. And I grew it into a pretty successful company. But in 2001, 9/11 happened. And I was kind of at the beginning of having a successful company. So I hadn't really totally seen what happens, how government treats you when you start to become successful yet. And also after 9/11, I fell into the trap. I was scared. I didn't understand what happened. Is this going to be a regular occurrence? Why are these folks attacking us? And I bought the comfortable lie from the government and the media that they hated us for our freedoms, that we were just so darn free, and they hated us for it because they wanted us to live. They wanted us to live in the oppression of their tyranny or whatever, and that we needed to use the military to spread our peaceful democratic ways by destabilizing and bombing and invading and killing as many people as we had to. It sounds absurd saying it now, but I 100% believed it. And there were some incredibly annoying people out there like Ron Paul and Matt Kibbe and other libertarians who talked to Republicans and conservatives and said, look, if you want a limited government, this ain't it. This isn't how that's going to work. You're not going to get what you want from an empire, an imperial state that, sees fit to, surveil you anytime they want to. And I didn't believe them. And I'm like, oh, you just hate America and you want the Islamo-fascists to win and all that. I was that guy. Real fun at parties. And so interestingly enough, I was also a drug addict during this time. So maybe it was the drugs, but regardless, because I've been clean roughly about as long as I've not been a conservative. So maybe there was some overlap there. But over the next few years, two things happened. One, I saw how everything that the libertarians and some constitutionalists and even some progressives predicted would happen happened. Each year, everything they said would happen happened. We were not treated as liberators. We were treated as occupiers. People were coming home in body bags and things were not getting better over there. The cost overruns of the wars were running up. Things were being leaked showing that the government was lying at every single step. We created a new terrorist group to fight the old terrorist group. They created ISIS out of the Sunni street militias to fight against Al Qaeda and the Saddam Fedayeen. And they created from the Saddam Fedayeen, they created ISIS to fight against the Shia, who they had fought against during the Iranian war. Like all the stuff they said would happen was happening. And at the same time, as my company became more and more successful, I saw what government does to small businesses that start to become successful. They treat us like criminals. They increasingly tax us. They increasingly look for any kind of regulations we aren't obeying to try to make things harder and harder. God forbid you actually try to create some jobs, then the real punishment happens. And I just saw firsthand that not just me, but the other, because I worked mostly with small businesses and startups as my clients, and I saw what they went through when they would try to get ahead and try to thrive and try to create value for their families and their communities and provide value to the market and create jobs and everything else. Those things combined made me really realize that government is largely an agent of harm. And when they say that they're doing something in your best interest, it's almost always a lie.
Yeah.
And so that kind of pushed me towards looking into, that made me more kind of a constitutionalist. And then over time I started that, then I went down the whole, this was, pre-YouTube days, or I guess just the beginning. This was before you could do all this in a matter of a few hours of watching a bunch of libertarian, wormhole stuff. Mm-hmm. But so I read Bastiat, I read the law. I read No Treason by Spooner, which was a total.
Yeah.
I read Man, Economy, and the State, and I read, I started reading all these different things. I even read some Marx. I read some Kropotkin. I kind of read the whole. I was challenging all my ideas at once, and I came away from that in my final form, Super Saiyan libertarianism that I am now. And so I came away from it a pretty devout Austrian school anarcho-capitalist. And 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with MS. And faced with that, I thought, you know what? We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, and what do I want the rest of my legacy to be? So I've retired from my company, and I decided to focus my life full time on libertarian activism. That's how I became the co-owner of Muddy Waters Media, the host of My Fellow Americans, the co-host of the Muddy Waters of Freedom. And then in doing that, I saw a need for libertarian candidates, especially at the top of the ticket, who were going to use a entertaining and dynamic and engaging and empathetic way of reaching the American public with the libertarian message and changing the cultural conversation. And that brought me to running for vice president.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I wish
you answered all of our questions. I think we're done.
And we're done. No, I'm joking.
Bye, everybody.
You got nothing. You covered everything. No.
That was great. No, I mean, okay, so I know that you were running with Vermin, and now you're running with Joe, and I understand that with the Libertarian Party, they decide who the vice president is going to be for the person that they've chosen to be the person running for president. So, okay, so for you, now we love Vermin, like he's always been that like perfect caricature for us of what the government, politicians are, and he's been on the show a couple times, and and so I've always really appreciated him for that, and going out there and doing stuff like that. So how different for you of as far as working on a campaign?
Yeah, you kind of had to change gears there.
There's probably a bit of a difference, no boot, kind of thing. But I noticed Vermin was losing the boot more, and things. So
there was a slight pivot there, yes. Yeah, there was a slight pivot. So there's also a big pivot in changing from running for the nomination to running for the general election too.
That's
so I mean,
true.
Even if I had been paired with Berman, there would have been a difference just in that respect, who we were primarily engaging and so forth. But in terms of the difference, Vermin has found an incredible way of using satire to reach people who are so disgusted with the way things are going and are so disgusted with the political discourse around it that they don't want to hear from a politician. They sure as hell don't want to hear from anyone in the media. This is why an increasing number of people get their news from The Daily Show and Last Week Tonight and all these different satirists and humorists and comedians. It's why, more and more you're likely to hear someone talk about what Dave Chappelle said as opposed to what, an anchor said or a politician said. They like hearing it from humorists because A, they make it sound a little bit less nightmarish, and B, we're living in a cynical joke.
Yes.
But the difference is you're the punchline. The people are the punchline. The politicians get to be the jokesters, and we have to be the punchline. Whereas humorists and satirists turn the punchline around where it should be to the people that created this mess in the first place.
Yeah.
So someone like Vermin is able to people and bring them into the libertarian message. People that would not be reachable by me going, "Hey, everybody, I'm Spike Cohen, and I'd like to talk to you about radical self-ownership." They don't want to hear about it. And so the beauty of that's what Vermin's been able to do, is bring people into the movement. We are very, very grateful for everything that Vermin is doing. Joe and I are running to change that. We want this system not to be a cynical joke.
Yes.
We want for this government to only be serving to protect the lives and the rights and the property of the people. That's what we want. We want things to change. And until those things change, there are going to be people that want to hear it from someone like a Vermin because they're sick of politicians and they're sick of cronies and they're sick of bureaucrats and they're sick of the media.
And I think it is a beautiful thing that he does, because he does reach people, like you said, who wouldn't want to be listening to any of it at all in any kind of way. And then the message kind of gets in there to them, what the government really is. So we had a chance to see Joe speak. I think it was a month or so ago. You were also in Pennsylvania at the time, but you were on the other side, and then you had to cut your trip short because of the hurricane, right? Yeah. Did everything go okay with that? I mean, the hurricane was coming, and you had to go home and batten down the hatches, right? Was that?
Yeah. It ended up by the time I got there, it was already weakening to a tropical storm,
Oh, that's
and I mean, we got a lot of wind and rain, and there was some debris and stuff, but there was no real damage. But I felt better being there. I didn't like the idea of leaving my wife, and at time we had a dog that was he was dying, and I didn't want to leave her there with a dying dog during a hurricane. So I came back and was there for them during that time. So, but everything went well, thank you.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, that's good of you to go home and do that, because you got to take care of your family.
Of course.
So now, when you were growing up, what was like your first job that you had, and how old were you when you started working, and then when did you actually have taxes taken out of your check and have that fun thing happen to you?
So there's two questions there. So the first time that taxes were taken out of my check was actually a little bit after the first time I started working. So I actually started working I was working I started pretty kind of a little early in South Carolina to be working legally. So I was bussing tables at an oyster bar up the road from my parents' house, and I would either walk or take my golf cart there. And I was 14, and I got paid $5 an hour under the table, and occasionally on busy nights I'd get tipped out too. And I learned two things during that time, and I continued working summers after that. And then having taxes taken out, because then it was legal. But I learned something that first summer, and continued to learn it moving forward from there, was that two things. Number one, I learned the value of a dollar, and I learned the value of making relationships with the people that you're working with, so that really so that they tip you out more. But the other thing I learned was that I did not want to work for someone else. Mm-hmm. I saw people in the back in the kitchen who were doing the same stuff I was doing, who were 2 and 3 times my age. And either they were doing what I was doing, or maybe they were one level above me in the kitchen or whatever. Because when I wasn't bussing tables, I was helping the cook staff in the back, making kebabs and cleaning up and stuff like that. And I was sort of just a general manservant of whatever they needed a kid to do. And I realized I don't want to be in my 20s or my 40s working for someone else. I want to be the person who comes in. The guy who owned the company was, I believe, like in his 30s, and he was a great guy, but he was telling everyone else what to do. He was nice about it, but he got to tell everyone else what to do. And then he'd go in the back and occasionally come out and make sure everything was working, and he made most of the money because he had started the company. And I thought, yeah, I want to do that. And so when I turned, right before I turned 17, I started thinking, well, what can I do? I don't want to go to college. I don't like high school. So I definitely don't want to go to college. And even at the time I was thinking, okay, so I either have to pay for college or get a loan. And then I'm in school for like 4 to 8 years, and I come out and they're saying I'm going to make more money. But that's assuming I stay in like menial labor. Yeah, of course I'll make more money, but then I'll also have to pay off all the debt, or pay back the loans or whatever. And I won't have worked for the first 4 to 8 years. And I did not like school. I had no interest in doing it. So where some people are like, yeah, I get to go to school, I did not like that. So I thought, why wouldn't I just start my own company? So I started looking into, well, what could I do that didn't require me to get a college degree? And what's something that's new and disruptive, and what's something that I can do from home because I can't afford to like have a storefront, and what's something that I can do as a 16-year-old in a 1987 LeBaron where people will take me seriously. And web design was all of those things. I could show up in my beater car that my parents gave me with my laptop that my parents gave me and say, hey, I'm Spike, you want a website? And that kind of made sense to people. And also the first few websites I made were free, and that way that kind of built up a portfolio. It also created scarcity because I had a full plate all the time doing all this free work, and eventually I started telling people, well, I got a full plate, so if you want a website, it's going to cost this much. And I was able to grow a company out of that.
That's wonderful.
I like that.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of times people don't charge what they're worth because they feel like, well, how am I going to say? But it's like, you were in a position where you could say, well, I'll have to charge you this. And they're like, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
to see what you're worth.
That's so great.
Well, and I did that exactly, and I did it by starting by not charging a thing, and then after a while, I started just charging like the cost of the hosting and the cost of the domain name and that kind of stuff. But I started off where I was like, hey, you want this free thing, and worst case scenario, it does nothing for you.
Yeah.
And after I had some clients, and I tried to find companies that like were all different types of industries in the area, so I had a wide portfolio of companies I had done. And then I started eventually working my pricing up. So eventually I was saying, hey, you know what? I've got a full plate. I'm booked out through the next 6 weeks, so I can fit you in this slot 6 weeks from now. And I need this much of a deposit to put you in that slot. And then we'll get started, right away or whatever. So, I mean, I didn't know these terms at the time, but I was diversifying my portfolio and creating scarcity at the same time.
Yeah. Building a portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you found out about your diagnosis and then you chose to retire from your company and you wanted to do something more in the libertarian like activism kind of way, did you have an idea of what you wanted to do, or did you just say, I'm going to do it and I don't have a clue yet?
We're kind of wondering how you ended here too.
Yeah. What was the
here?
first step? What was the first thing, or what did you first want to do? And
as soon as they told me I had MS, I said, I'm going to run for vice president. No. So what
Vice
the way it
president.
worked was
Very specific.
No, I said, that's it. I'm right. And they said, for president? I said, no, not president,
whoa.
specifically vice president. No. What happened? So it was something I've been contemplating for a while. So a little bit of background there. Right side of my body went numb March of 2014. I did some Googling and went, I have MS. And they went, we have no way of knowing that. 2 years later, they caught up and said, yeah, it turns out you have MS. And so, my right side, I have a little bit of a sandpapery feeling in this hand. I 99% recovered, but they did eventually say I had MS.
Right.
And we were discussing my my treatment options. They said the goal of MS treatment is to slow down the progress of your disease so that it's not much different than just the normal natural aging process.
No.
That was supposed to make me feel better. That hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought, best case scenario, I'm back to the status quo that we're all facing, where we're just slowly getting older and eventually won't be here. And it made me rethink it. All of my priorities at that moment were get rich, and eventually I'll be able to stop and just be really, really rich.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's not going to matter in 100 years. In 100 years, my own relatives my own blood may not know who I am. If I haven't actually given anyone any reason to know who I am, I may just vaguely be remembered as that guy that is, why we have nice things or whatever. But like, it wasn't, I wasn't building a legacy, and I wasn't building on what I actually cared about. And what I cared about was talking to people about liberty and freedom. I didn't care really about making money at that point. I had made a decent amount of money. That wasn't my concern anymore. So why was I still doing that? So I was sort of in an autopilot, and this knocked me out of it. It jolted me out of my autopilot. And so for the first almost year after I decided to retire, I pretty much just relearned how to process things. I slept a lot more. I started doing yoga and exercise. I changed my diet. I learned stoicism and mindfulness, and started doing all this stress management stuff and things like that. And after that got me in a mindset of really thinking, okay, now what? What is it you want to do? And I kind of went back to that thing that they would ask you in school with guidance counselors, well, if money didn't matter, what would you do? And it's well, if money didn't matter, I would talk to people about freedom. I talk to people about liberty. I talk to people about the situation we're in and why we're in it. And so for a while, that just looked like kind of internet activism. And then Matt Wright and Mohammed Shaker reached out to me and said, how would you like to have a show on Muddy Waters? We're going to start having other people do shows. And I said, okay. So I started doing my show. And then eventually they reached out and said, how would you like to be the new co-host of Muddy Waters of Freedom? I said, okay. And then Matt eventually said, do you want to become co-owner of Muddy Waters Media so we make these decisions 50-50? And I said,
wow.
Okay. And then Vermin Supreme said, how'd you like to be my running mate? I said, okay.
Okay.
And then in May, the Libertarian Party said, we'd like you to be our actual vice presidential nominee. And I said, okay to that. So I pretty much, I had in my mind what I wanted to do, and that was to spread the message of liberty with a very open mind towards what that looked like. Everything I've been doing, starting from then and going on till now, and whatever ends up happening after this, is to leverage it to spread the message of liberty. And if that looks like me being in the White House with Jo Jorgensen, working for her reelection, then so be it. I'll do that as well.
That's
Is
awesome.
that coming? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Another thought I had is as you went on WebMD and diagnosed yourself with MS.
Oh
and
my
you just-
gosh, Googling
You just
symptoms
terrified
is-
everybody in the chat who has a sniffle and goes on WebMD. Now I have lupus.
I knew the exact spinal column that the lesion was on based on where my symptoms were. I went into my doctor's office and said, I have an MS type lesion in between my C3 and C4. And she looked at me like, you'd have no way of knowing that. That's exactly what I ended up having.
Wow. Oh my gosh. If I can ask.
Your results may vary at home, just so you guys know.
Your results may vary. Yeah. Your results may vary.
If I may ask, we have a friend who was recently diagnosed with MS, and trying to find out like what to do. It's like in those first few
What now?
weeks and
Yeah.
months. It's like, what do you do? And is there any kind of advice or like resources or anything? Obviously, you're not a doctor. We have to say that out loud. But
Yeah.
is there anything that you can say to like help people in the situation who are like overwhelmed with the news, just as you were, I'm sure?
So here is what I would say, and yes, huge disclosure. I am not a doctor. I played one on WebMD for myself. It went well, but in general, I'm not a doctor. Do not take this as any kind of medical advice. Always listen to your medical doctor. If you experience an erection that lasts for 4 hours or longer, be sure to go to the emergency room.
So wait, did we do the blue pill thing? Or call your friends and be like,
just,
I mean, just in general, if that happens, I mean, it's impressive, but it's actually a medical emergency.
A medical
I mean,
emergency.
so-
post it in closed groups first.
It's actually a medical. So here's what I would say, first of all, with MS, with lupus, with any of these chronic illnesses, it is not a death sentence. And usually when you're going to the doctor the first time, it's because you're having like a major exacerbation. And that, coupled with being told this stuff that it could or might be or diagnosed as being, you're horrified. You're like, this is the rest of my life. It's only going to get worse from here. Everything that I thought was going to be happening up until this moment, it's a huge jolt. Like you expect you have this envisioning of what your life's going to be like, and then you get told, no, you got this disease that there's no cure for, and we're not even 100% sure what causes it. And here are your treatment options, and your results can vary quite a bit. But here's what I will tell you, specific to MS especially. This is not a death sentence. Statistically, you are likely to live pretty much as long as you would have even if you hadn't been diagnosed. And that was not always the case. And up until recently, they said that it would take about 7 years off your life. Now they're saying not even. Now it's pretty much comparatively any potential loss in lifespan is negligible. There's a potential that you'll probably live about the same. And in fact, if anything, if you seize upon this as an opportunity to take your health seriously, you'll live longer than you would have lived.
True, yeah.
Your issues are not going to be how long you live necessarily, as much as what your quality of life is, and that's up to you. Your quality of life is very much up to you, because if you remain stressed out, if you allow your life to continue to control you, if you do not take control of things, and if you do not learn to take things as sort of a dispassionate observer, and learn to look for the bright things in life, and learn to not have life run over you, but rather be riding through life, then you're going to have a very bad time. Because you have a disease that when you're stressed out, it's worse. Your symptoms become worse immediately. Your symptoms being worse make you more stressed, which makes them worse, which makes you more stressed, which makes them worse, and so forth. It's not making your disease worse, it's just you're experiencing it worse in that time, because your stress is causing your body to heat up, and inflammation makes your MS symptoms worse. So it also makes your immune system think something's wrong, which is the exact opposite of what you want when you have an autoimmune disease. Wow. So what I would tell you is learn to take things in stride. meditate, mindfulness, yoga, freaking whatever it takes, stoicism, read about Taoism. If you're religious, delve into your faith, pray more, have moments where you're talking with your higher power, do more stuff in your church or place of worship, help people around you, try to make your life about service to others instead of yourself, because a self-centered life is a stress-centered life. Make your life about something that when you wake up, you're happy that you're doing it. These are like the things that I would tell you before I even get into treatment. The next thing I would tell you is look into, and there are many different types of diets, and they're all different. Some work better than others for other people. There is a diet called the Walls diet, which is basically a really modified paleo diet. I tried that. It was real fun because you got to eat a lot of meat. I didn't do well with it, but many other people do very well with it. I'm on a diet plan called Overcoming MS, which is basically like a pescatarian diet, a very restricted pescatarian diet. If you're not someone who can just be like, I'm going to only eat this way forever, just make modifications to your diet. Eat less of this and eat more of that, and that kind of stuff. Listen to your doctor about treatments. I'm someone that was very hesitant to get into medications, but medications are why MS isn't a death sentence anymore. Yeah. The treatments they have out now that have come out in the last 10, 15 years have completely changed the game when it comes to MS. It used to be when you were diagnosed with MS, they would give you pamphlets about your upcoming disability, and they would tell you what your next 20, 30 years were going to look like, and that eventually you would die from it. And that it would be a horrific death because you would have turned into a vegetable before that. Thanks to the treatments that they have now, it's not like that anymore. You should be able to experience maybe not the exact same life you did before, but something a lot better than what someone 15, 20 years ago would have experienced in your exact same situation. Yeah. So look at your treatment options. And that's what I would say. Treatment, wellness, exercise, supplementation, do vitamin D, 5,000 IUD or 10,000 IU or 5,000, whatever. Do the vitamins, do the supplementation, do all the different things. But most importantly, take this as an opportunity to look at your life and see how you can change the way that you're interacting with yourself and others, because there's probably a lot of that is not helping things. And it might have been what triggered your immune system going haywire in the first place.
Wow. Thanks for sharing all of that.
We've been hearing that so much for everything. Like people are like, I've been depressed, I've been sad, I don't know like how to get out of this, and everybody's like, go volunteer, go do something for somebody else. Almost like quit being so self-centered.
Yeah.
Stop being so self-centered and thinking about yourself.
And I'm not saying it that way.
But it kind of is. I think it kind of is.
I know exactly.
It's get outside of yourself.
You're stressed out about your little life you have here, and it's like go out and be with other people and help them.
For me, it was. Yeah. For me, I was focused on my business, my money, my business, my money, mm-hmm. and my family, and taking care of them and everything else. But it was money. It was I need money. I need to get this next client. I got to get this big deal. I got to get this big thing. I got to get that. Yeah. That's all that mattered. And I was doing very well financially. Hated life. Was miserable. Yeah. Almost 100 pounds overweight. Then this happens, and I'm now happier. I've got MS, which has been pretty much stable for like 3 years now, pretty much since I started the treatment and all the other stuff I'm doing, which is great. But I'm also happier than I've ever been in my adult life. I am more excited to wake up and to do things than I've ever been in my adult life. I feel more alive than I ever have. I am out on these bus tours 3 and 4 hours a day in the hot sun talking with people, and people are like, you have MS, you're okay? And I'm like, I'm doing great. This is what I want to do. And yeah, I'm exhausted at the end of the day because I'm a 38-year-old out in the sun all day. Yeah. But I'm the happiest I've ever been because I'm living in purpose, and I'm actually doing something to not just for me, but for others, and building something that's bigger than me or this campaign or anything else. It's about something so much bigger than me or even just us that are involved in this. And that gives me such a sense of purpose. And I would encourage you to do the same thing, to take this as an opportunity, if nothing else, to look at what you're doing and see how you can live a life that is happier and more centered around having a purpose and a legacy.
That's so great. Wow,
That is.
that's some great advice for, I think, everybody.
Yeah, that was
Regardless
going to
of-
be one of our questions. With the diagnosis, campaigning can be pretty grueling, and you're just out there, they're killing it.
I've been, yeah, thank you. I've been having a good time. I'm exhausted at the end of the day, but I'm also a middle-aged.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
any
also
normal
my-
person.
I'm
Any
also
normal
38
person
years
would
old. I'm
also
not-
be, yeah.
But I
any
mean, put it
normal
this way:
person
I
would
was
be
in I was in Tempe, Arizona, and I was it was 120 degrees
Oh,
outside.
yuck.
And I was out there for like 4 hours. And I wasn't just out there standing. I'm giving a speech at the top of my lungs, talking into a mic and talking to the crowd. Then I do like an hour and a half of Q&A, and I'm standing out. I was out there for like 4+ hours. I went out there around at 6, and by the time I was done, it was like 10:30 or something like that. And I felt great. I mean, I slept well that night, but I when you are living in purpose and when you are doing something that excites you and makes you happy and gives you contentment and makes you feel like this is why I'm alive, this is why I'm awake, this is why I'm doing this, your body can do incredible things that you wouldn't think it could do otherwise. In the same way that when you hate what you're doing and don't want to do it and you're miserable, things that should be relatively easy feel like the worst nightmare ever. So it's and it's not to say you can't ever do, you have to avoid all things you don't like. That's not how life works, but try your best to find the ways that you can find happiness in your life, and open your eyes up, open up to the possibility that one of the best ways that you can make yourself happy is to bring value to other people and to help other people.
That's really, that's such a great mindset to have. Jacob is in southwestern Missouri. He wondered if you would be coming down into that area anytime at all.
Missouri.
Missouri.
Possibly. We don't have anything on the books right now. I'm trying to think. I have a hard enough time keeping track of my schedule. I don't know what Joe has on hers. If you go to joe20.com/events, that has all the stuff that's coming up. But I will say this: I want to Missouri and in that region, Missouri, Arkansas, and Mississippi. And I know those states aren't right next to each other, but they're on that. They're along that Mississippi River region. Those are states that I do want to hit before Election Day. So it might be about a month from now, or a little bit later than a month from now. But keep an eye out, because I want to try to hit as many of the lower 48 as possible before Election Day ends. And I can't hit all of them. But I will try to. And between me or Joe, one of us should have hit Missouri by Election Day.
Yes, which is really coming up fast. I mean, I'm sure you guys know that.
Thank goodness.
Seems like it is happening.
I can't wait.
It's all, well, as a person who, gets all the stuff, and the ads and everything, just as the general
Like the masks
population,
and everything.
it's just like, okay, so actually several people asked about,
Yes,
so.
I am coming. So also to
ahead.
answer, sorry to quick,
No, go
RP
ahead.
Gallagher asked, am I coming to Maine? I will be in Maine on, I'm sorry, ask me your question, because I'm looking up when I'll be in Maine, because I do know I'm coming up to Maine shortly.
You can finish.
Oh,
Your
that's
question.
exciting. Oh, no, that's fine. People were asking, since Ruth, passed away
RGB.
today, who would your choice be for, your pick then to replace her now open seat?
So
I know what the right answer
I would
is.
defer to, I would defer to Joe on who she would want to pick for that. But I will say this: if you want originalists on the Supreme Court, people that only look at what the Constitution intended as opposed to what they would like it to be like, basically judicial activism, the only way you're going to ensure that you get actual originalists on the court is to vote Libertarian and to vote for Joe Jorgensen. But in terms of like specific people, I would not be so presumptuous as to name names instead of just deferring to Joe on that. Unfortunately, it's looking like Trump is going to ramrod his choice through the Senate. We'll see how that plays out. But Mitch McConnell's already said, Cocaine Mitch has already said that he will make sure that that Trump's will get an up or down vote on the Senate floor. So we will see. But Joe would be picking an originalist.
Wait,
in terms of a specific name, I defer to him.
He's trying to bang someone through before he gets to before the election.
Oh, you know it.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
Because we were all
immediately
speculating
said,
like this is going to be a bloodbath on the streets just to get your pick in the office, so that this next Supreme Court justice will be your team.
Oh, you know he's going to try to do anything he can.
Yeah, I think they're going to fast track it. And I think they're going to use the nuclear option to shove it through with 52 votes or whatever. And it's going to be messy, but that would be my best guess. If they do not, if there are enough Republicans that decide that they have to look at themselves in the mirror after this thing and won't be able to do it, which I mean, again, this is senators. I would not bank on that happening. But if that does not, if it doesn't happen, if there aren't enough defections, then I would expect that Trump will get to appoint 3 justices in his one term.
Yeah, one of our friends says, I bet the Democrats are kind of wishing they didn't get rid of confirmation filibusters. I love
That's
these
the thing. I mean,
Go ahead. I was going to say that these power grabs that each party
that was
takes.
pretty much it. That's and this is the rope-a-dope. This is the left-right rope-a-dope where the Democrats or the Republicans will set a precedent, and the other side will go, you can't do that. That will set a precedent. Yeah. And then they do it. And then they're like, well, the precedent's been set. We must do it. And it's not, it doesn't, I've always heard that, well, we can't do that because then the Democrats will do it. It's like the Democrats are going to do that anyway. And if they didn't, you would do it. You're both on the same side. So, I don't really care what either one of you is doing anyway. So.
They're the same team. They're the same. Yeah. Oh gosh, my train of thought just
derailed.
Completely derailed. So. I know it's there somewhere. Yes. What would you say? Because we have a lot of anarchists who hang out with us, and
there's a lot of them right now.
Folks who are really like, I don't know if I'm going to vote, and then they're
it's a little more stubborn than that.
So there's the ones who are like, I don't know if I'm going to vote, and then we've seen people say like, ooh, I'm going to vote for Joe, and then we've seen the ones who are just like, no, voting is going against, you're just voting in more government and all this kind of stuff. What do you say to folks like that who just won't vote? And I'm not saying that that's their choice.
Well, first of all,
I mean, they can do what they want.
Yeah, so I would never tell someone to go against their conscience. First of all, I am an anarchist, and I do believe that voting is violence. I believe that voting for people who propose dismantling harmful structures and basically giving power back to the people and giving them at least some of their power and freedom and wealth back, and not advocating for new ways of harming or infringing the people is a vote of violence in self-defense. So I would not say that the in the ideal free market society of all non-coercive voluntary human interaction, then this would not be the ideal. We don't live in that. We live in a system whereby power is distributed through proxy violence, and you have the ability to use your proxy violence in self-defense. You also have the ability to refuse to use it, and if you choose to do that, that is your choice to make with your conscience. And I do not try to encourage people to violate their conscience. I encourage you to consider that you have that vote whether you like it or not. Whatever happens will happen to you whether you like it or not. And you have an opportunity to use your vote, your voice, your proxy violence in self-defense to say, no, I don't want to hurt myself or others, and I am voting for someone who is expressly calling for dismantling harmful and hurtful and oppressive and tyrannical structures and systems. I would not be asking you to do it for someone who's talking about cutting taxes 15% or ending this one war but allowing these other ones to continue. Jo Jorgensen is talking about ending all taxation. She is talking about ending deficit and debt spending, about ending the Federal Reserve, about ending qualified immunity and the war on drugs and the war on guns and the war on income, and ending the wars and bringing the troops home, and basically just a dismantling of everything that is within government that isn't expressly the power of protecting the lives, rights, and property of the people. Again, we're not running on anarchy, but we are running on a massive downturn of government power, and decentralizing that power and giving it back to the people. I would argue that that's a vote in self-defense, and that is why, as an anarchist, I am running on this ticket proudly.
Yeah, because that is like a tough one, where it's like, like an anarchist politician.
No, and that's it. It's like there's I am conflicted sometimes, just like, but then it's like, that is a vote in self-defense, that does make a lot of sense, and I see a lot of people in the comment section, saying the same exact thing. Because it's hard, we were statists. We were the same way.
Not that long ago.
Ate all the same, stuff, and they hate us because of our freedoms. And, I remember being glued to the TV when 9/11 happened, and I was like, why would they hate us?
What's going to happen
we have
next?
Las Vegas, that's why they hate us.
We're at war now. We're at a war against terrorism.
Yeah, and now it's just all this, but then,
They hate us because we have strippers,
Yeah.
The strippers. Wait, they were at the strip club before they got on the plane?
It's so, but like when you said your story, and I know our story, and we've heard other people talk about it, how they came up to liberty, and it gives me hope.
Leave a like if you are depressed.
Me hope. Did you just press the PewDiePie
Yeah,
button?
he can't hear it.
Okay. But it gives me hope, because then I know that like we've all been there before, and now we're here. So we can reach people, and change things, because we're raising little anarchists, we got
to tone them down a little bit. I'm like, you're a little young to be on the list.
Yeah, and I was putting the kids to bed tonight, and my middle one.
The kiddie list, the kid list.
Keep an eye on this kid.
Our 7-year-old said, I said, listen. I said, remember when we saw Joe? And he's like, yeah. And I said, okay, so we're interviewing the man who's running as vice president with her. And he's like, Joe's going to lower taxes and end taxes. And he's all excited in bed, like,
I'm like, he's the guy that's on the sign in our front yard.
Yeah, exactly. So it's refreshing. It really is. How long, really, like, how do we get people to see the other side, though, outside of that box? My mom is a lost cause. I love her to death, but she's 74 and set in her ways. So
she's resisting.
What do we do?
So I think there are some people that are largely so there's two things there. One is voting libertarian, and one is just the idea of liberty as opposed to statism. When it comes especially to voting libertarian, there are some people that we're not going to get them until they already see us in the polling as being within earshot, within striking distance of victory. They are very sold on the lesser evil. They are, even if they think we're the best, they are very sold on the lesser evil, which is why I primarily I primarily reach out to people who already recognize that voting Republican and Democrat is a waste of time. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I go to these Black Lives Matter protests. That's why I go and talk with lockdown protesters and gun rights protesters and Boogaloo Boys and non-voters and students that are engaged in some incredibly fringe political beliefs and things like that, because they already get that Republicrats are not where it's at. Mm-hmm. They're trying to figure out where it is at. And some of them think where it's at right now. Everything from marching in the streets and civil disobedience to some who think that the answer is burning everything down and starting from scratch. Yeah. They recognize that the answer is not voting Republican and Democrat. I'm basically showing them, kind of talking them off that ledge and saying there is a viable option here, not just in a different party, but in a completely different way in looking at how government and people interact with each other. And so that's why I've been reaching out to them primarily. When we're talking about just the message of liberty in general, with anyone, the way to reach people, the same way we were reached, is by people meeting us where we are and demonstrating to us on our terms why libertarianism works. Scott Horton, who I try to talk with as often as possible, he's been a great resource. Scott Horton says, we're better than the left on the things the left cares about. We're better than the right on the things the right cares about. And for that matter, we're better than the center on the things the center cares about. So why argue with them? Libertarians often believe that we need to present the most logical argument ever. And we create this and we've got to work on it. We got to make sure this argument is bulletproof.
We've been sharpening it on each other like left and right for decades.
Yeah, we've got to sharpen the iron until it is just right. You can just slice, a brick by touching it. You need this logic argument to just be unassailable, and you'll present it to people and they'll go, my God, that argument is so logical. I have instantly in this moment become a libertarian. Yeah. That's not how it works. Right. That's not how it works. That might be how we process things, but that's not how normies process things. They don't care about your argument. So for example, when someone says to you, man, I'm really worried about how healthcare is in this country. I have a friend who's sick and they're losing everything because they can't afford their medical bills. And, I think healthcare is a right. They shouldn't have to go through that. Why is it that our country's so rich? And, we have people that are losing everything over healthcare, but it's free in other countries. Why can't we have it like that? What do? We go, you moron, healthcare is not a right. Rights are negative. You can't have a right without taking from the labor of someone else. You must believe in slavery. I won this argument, loser. And then here's what also happened.
Bow down and leave.
You just made an enemy.
Of course.
Bow down. You can check this off as another win for libertarianism.
Yeah.
You just took someone who recognizes that there's a major problem and is coming to you telling you they're scared and telling them, I don't care what you just said to me. I wanted to argue with you about obscure political stuff instead. And I really don't care if you agree with me or not. And I don't care about you at all, actually. And so at best, they will ignore you. And at worst, they will hate you and actively campaign against whatever it is you're saying for the rest of your life.
You just steal the
If instead,
yeah.
if instead, this person's not saying, I'm an ideological socialist who believes that we should smash the capitalism and seize the means of production. Even the people that say that, they're not really saying that. Here's what they're saying. I'm scared. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I'm going to be able to pay for my health care during a pandemic. I have no idea how I'm going to pay for it. If something happens, my life is ruined. I've lost everything. I don't know how I'm going to be able to pay my student loans or my mortgage or my car note or my whatever, my rent. I don't know how I'm going to make it through life. Things get more and more and more expensive. My wages are not going up with it. And right now, the only people that are talking to me like they give a shit about me are Democrat progressives who tell me that the system is rigged against me, and so they're going to tax those people who rigged it against me to give me the things that I need, and that it's a right, that I deserve this because I didn't do anything wrong. That's what they're saying. Yes. The way you reach them is by saying, yeah, this system's a total mess. Things are going out of control price-wise. Healthcare is getting incredibly expensive for no good reason. The cost of higher education is going through the roof. All of these things are happening. They are terrible. Libertarians we recognize why that is. And you can actually take them on that journey. But first you have to show them that you care, that you were listening to what they were saying, that you understood what they were saying, and that you understood how we got here and how to get away from it. Once we do that, then we can talk the logic. Then we can explain how healthcare becomes expensive because of bureaucracy and red tape and regulation, and cronyism and bailouts and taxes and mandates and patent protections and everything else. We can talk about why the cost of living is going through the roof because of the Federal Reserve and quantitative easing and inflation of the monetary supply and blah, 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 blah. We can do all this stuff, but you can't do that when you are talking to someone who doesn't even know if you give a shit about them yet. No one cares what you know unless they know that you care. That's like the oldest rule of marketing. Yep. And what I've learned in 20 years of leadership and marketing in my business is that the way you reach people is meet them where they are on their terms, understand and validate their concerns, because unless they're a sociopath, their concerns are valid. Right. Then empathize with them on that and demonstrate that you actually understand what they're going through, and then from there take them on the journey to liberty. But you can't start with the journey, and you certainly can't start by showing them what an idiot they are with their stupid non-argument. Not an argument. That doesn't work with people.
No, not with humans. No.
I think a lot of them get
Not with the
excited,
stuff.
about like their point of view, and it just turns into the same kind of thing though, with the red and the blue, where it's like I'm not really listening to what you're saying. I'm already preparing
My
to
next
say my
statement,
next
yeah.
statement, so that you will, come
Yep.
to my side, kind of thing. Go ahead. I see.
I said I
Toby's-
like what Toby said here. People are impacted by how you make them feel, not what you say. And that's why
Yes.
the left is doing so
Yeah.
well.
All human beings process things with this whole facts don't care about your feelings. Nope.
Yeah.
But feelings care about how their facts are being presented to them. If facts don't care about anything because they don't care because they're facts. That's not how things work. But anyway, all of us process things with a combination of intellect, intuition, and emotion. All of this, okay? And we're all different in how we process, what combination of those things we use to process it. Not just person to person, but subject to subject, day to day, what kind of mood we're in, and everything else. If you don't think that libertarians can be emotionally triggered, tell them that healthcare is a human right, and then take 5 steps back. Or
Vain.
tell them that taxes are the prices that we pay to live in a civilized society. So here is how we deal with this. And I've done this with Black Lives Matter protesters. I've done this with lockdown protesters. I've done this with gun rights protesters. I've done this with college students. I've done this with people in housing projects. I go to where they are, not just in their spaces, but on their terms. I listen to what they're saying. I ask them questions. And you can do this too. Hear what they're saying. 2 things are happening when you're listening to what they're saying. 1, they're getting a great catharsis. There are people that pay, and this is a good thing. There are people that pay $100+ an hour for someone to just listen to what they're going through. So here you are giving them about 5 minutes of that for free. So they're already going through a catharsis of just telling you what they're concerned about, with you not judging them, with you not saying, you libtard, tell me that. Like, you just listen to what they have to say. And they're getting that catharsis. They are also, whether they like it or not, even if they're suspicious of you, they are already subconsciously developing bonds and ties with you because they're telling you about important things and you're listening and shutting up and hearing what they have to say. Here's the other thing that's happening. While they are having this cathartic moment and slowly imprinting with you, you're listening and developing and hearing what their concerns are. You're collecting data. You're finding out what in sales, we call it pain points. You're finding out what their issues are, what they care about, and how they talk about it. You can even ask some follow-up questions if you're feeling real froggy. You can ask them if they say they're worried about safety or protection. You could say, what does that mean to you? What does safety mean to you? What does health mean to you? What are your concerns about this? And then after you've gotten a fairly clear understanding of what it is they're talking about, then you can talk. And you can actually say things like, yeah, that is a mess. Whatever it is, why someone's saying, why is insulin so expensive? Why is it that, a drug that's been around longer than any of us have been alive? Why is it cost more and more and more? Why are these companies making all this money? And you can say, you know why? Because of corporate greed. Corporations are using government to get patent protections so that they can charge whatever they want. And they're using the fact that Medicare and Medicaid and government mandated insurance have to cover it to charge whatever they want. There's no price equilibrium. They don't have to charge what you can afford because you're not the one directly paying for it. And if you're one of those poor souls who can't afford insurance and doesn't qualify for one of those programs, you just have to die. That's why it is. And we want to change that. And here's how. You don't have to explain to them how capitalism isn't the system we have right now. That's corporatism, you moron. We don't have to do any of that. What we do is understand where they're coming from and then take them on the journey for how liberty works. And if we have to use their nomenclature, which, by the way, the term capitalism was founded by Marxists. It was Engels who first coined the term capitalism. You know what he was coining it to describe? This. What we have right now is, according to the people who came up with the term capitalism. We're the ones who changed the term.
Yes.
All that to say, whatever it is we're talking about here,
Who said that?
when you listen to what people have to say, without prejudices, without preconceived notions, listen to what their actual concerns are. And you're not going to agree with all of it, but you can get to the bottom of what their actual concerns are. what their fears are, what their hopes and dreams are, how they'd like to see things play out, and then you can take them on the actual journey for how we can fix this. You can disabuse them of the notion that the people that are pandering to them, who created these problems, are going to make it any better, and they're going to believe you because you're actually showing them something that makes sense. But first, you showed them that you even cared about them in the first place.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
Great.
That is a
and
big deal.
I've seen this come up a couple times, and I want to kind of dig into it a little bit.
Make sure you go ahead.
But like, you're doing good because you just had somebody say something that I didn't expect. But what's your thoughts on IP, on intellectual property in that case?
Make sure we ask what Martini asked too.
So first of all, I need to say from a policy standpoint, Joe is proposing reforming IP, reforming patent laws so that they aren't so crony friendly, and so that the patent office isn't basically just rubber stamping whatever Apple and Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, and the big pharma and these other companies hand them and say, oh yeah, sure, here's another step on that. Yeah, some actual, like, some oversight on that. Probably a deregulation, probably some deregulation there, loosening of how long it exists. So that's the policy question. Here's the philosophy answer to that. In order for something to be actual property, it has to be scarce and it cannot be replicable. If I tell you something and now you know that thing, you didn't take it from me. I still have that thing. Intellectual property is the opposite of property. It can't be property because it is infinitely replicable. So IP, from a proprietarian libertarian standpoint, there is no such thing. And what it leads to, when you allow people to have a monopoly on ideas, if they're the first person to come to government and say, sign off on me having this idea first, is you allow major companies to weaponize ideas so that they can basically, and we've seen the logical conclusion of this, you have companies like Apple and Samsung and Alphabet and these other major companies that spend billions of dollars hiring people to just come up with ideas, write them on sheets of paper, or type them into a database, and then get handed off to the patent office in stacks to be rubber stamped for them to hold on to for decades. That if anyone else ever tries to do that, they now have to pay a licensing fee or just hand it off to Google and let them make money doing it. So they weaponize the vaguest of ideas, the most vague of ideas. And then if anyone comes up with something that even remotely resembles it, they go, we are suing you for everything. You have to hand it over to us. And since you've demonstrated that thing has value, we're now going to start selling it. That is the logical conclusion of treating ideas as though they are property. They are not property.
I am like
killing it, bro.
Goosebumpy. Oh, look at that!
Oh.
Thank you, King.
Thank you, King.
Hey, King. Thanks, King. By the way, shout out to King. Kingsley's dad on the 23rd is finally getting his hearing for clemency, and we are definitely he is definitely in our thought. We are definitely hoping that he gets that.
Yes.
Read Aaron's right now.
Okay. I just want to say, that your whole IP thing right there was amazing, really, because I
killed it, man.
That was like my last thing that I was like, I don't even know, but that really, that was so well explained. Thank you so much.
So here is the legitimate objection when it comes to that, because I'll have people who go, okay, but what's to prevent people from just stealing each other's ideas and being and going to market. Well, that's what we have now. We have companies that steal ideas by putting out these vague patents and then weaponizing it against anyone. But the short answer is, if I come up with something and I put it out on market and you go, yeah, I can make that and sell it for 10 cents less or $1 less, the consumer wins on that because there are more people that are providing that thing. I still have the advantage of being first to market and everything that comes with that. Yeah. And I can innovate and try to make it a little bit better. So it actually spurs me on to continue innovating. Anyone who knows inventors or entrepreneurs know and can tell you that patent protection isn't what's keeping them in business. What's keeping them in business is the inherent need to innovate and profit from it. That is what drives the world. The patent system didn't even exist in any way until the 18th century, and only in a handful of countries. were innovating and progressing long before all that happened. No one ever said, wait a second, I'm not going to make the wheel. What if someone takes it from me? That's not how innovation and technology works.
Right.
And the modern patent system that we have now really hasn't existed since the beginning of the technological era, really the end of the industrial era. So like the late 19th century, that we saw the patent system anything resembling what we have now. And this weaponized patent system didn't exist until the post-World War II Cold War era. So the idea that we didn't, have innovation before that, clearly that's not the case. If anything, it stops innovation, because if I have an idea and I know that a bunch of companies out there have something similar enough that they can sue me, I can't go anywhere with it. I have to just sit on it.
Dave wants to read a question.
Oh yeah, this is from Aaron, on Float. If you guys do win, what will your approach be with big tech? Do you leave them alone? Do you let them influence elections?
I mean, you're not.
Are you
going to
drag
drag them in front of
Congress?
Congress, right? I highly doubt.
Here's the thing. So this is the same way that it works with any other type of monopolies or multi-opolies or whatever you want. People that have dominated the sector and then weaponize and create regulations and legislation through their sponsored crony politicians to shut out any new competition. We're watching this right now with TikTok. Facebook and Twitter and YouTube are being threatened by TikTok. So the federal government decided that TikTok was a tool of the communist Chinese government.
spies.
They have no proof of that whatsoever. They presented nothing to even suggest it. And in fact, TikTok has demonstrated that there is no reason to think that is. Data servers in the U.S. are actually, their data servers in the U.S. are based in Singapore in the U.S. They are not based in China. Their main company's based in China, but there are a lot of companies that are based in China. That doesn't mean anything. They're no more or less susceptible to Chinese spying than any other tech company, including Facebook and Google and Twitter and everything and YouTube and everything else. They in fact have showed that they do not censor. There's no one being censored. You put anti-Chinese stuff on TikTok all day long. They do not censor it. And yet the government, what are they doing? They're saying, we're going to ban TikTok unless it gets bought by an American company.
Yeah.
We got to get government out of big tech. That is how you fix this. And the way that you fix it is by deregulating and allowing the market to provide new and innovative competitors. The problem isn't that Facebook is telling you what you can or can't do on your venue. That's private property rights. The problem is that they have shut out competitors so that when they tell you, you can only do this and this and this, and you can't say this or that, and you can't share this article because we don't like it, we aren't able to say en masse, okay, fine, we're all leaving and going to this better, newer competitor that doesn't steal our data and doesn't tell us how to talk. So by deregulating the market and removing all of those different regulations and legislation and regulatory barriers and burdens that make it harder for those new competitors to prop up, if you remove those things, Facebook can tell us that we can't use the word "the" if they want to. It's their platform. They do whatever they want, and we can go to a platform that we find to be less egregious.
Go over here. Wait, no, go to this one.
You got to point to Mary.
Got point to me here. Go to this
That's
platform.
the Float
Float.
But yeah,
yes, Float. Absolutely, go to Float.
Full disclosure, we love TikTok.
I love TikTok. We watch comedy on there.
Like amazing musicians.
Dave. But it's super. I love it.
It is. Once you wean it down and you get out all the cam girls and stuff like that, and you get it to what you want it to be, there's really talented people on there.
Super.
And it's a lot of fun. And I've always said it's like they're upset that the Chinese government is spying on us. Like only the American government's supposed to be spying on us.
Yeah. So
they hate competition.
And zero evidence that that's happening. They presented nothing. This is that they want it to be owned by a U.S. company, either Microsoft or Oracle, who will eventually merge it into one of these other things. That's all this is about.
And
it has nothing to do with any action threat. And they'll continue to spy on us like they're spying on us now. They're like, the government might spy on you. All governments are spying on you. These platforms are very easy to exploit. And any government, any major government right now is spying on you whenever they want to, including your own, without a warrant.
I know, I saw. Exactly. Now, what do you do about Edward Snowden and the folks, like that? Like, so what do you guys believe? You know,
The whistleblowers.
the whistleblowers. You know.
Edward Snowden, Julian Assange, reality winner Chelsea Manning, all these people get pardoned or get their active convictions vacated. And honestly, we should be bringing a lot of them in to our administration informally, if not formally, and having them tell us anything else they might know about what's going on. In order for a government to even remotely be able to claim the consent of the governed, the only way that they can truly claim that is there's a few different things they have to do. Number one, they should only be working to protect the lives and the rights and the property of the people under its presumed jurisdiction. Number two, they should never be robbing anyone, so no taxation at all. If they're funding things, it needs to be through voluntary means. Number three, people should be able to opt out whenever they want to. But one of the other major things is that when people within that organization, within that government, demonstrate that there is a problem that needs to be fixed, those people should not be prosecuted or shut out. Just the opposite. They should be heralded as heroes for exposing this thing and letting us know that something needs to be done so that we can fix it. All of these folks are heroes. And Julian Assange, he's a journalist. Like, let's be clear about what WikiLeaks is. WikiLeaks is just new era journalism where instead of presenting their own spin on things, they just dump all the data and let you make the choice for yourself on what you think about it.
That's true investigative journalism.
That's literally what WikiLeaks is.
Oh, and it's so sad that so many people see these folks as
Didn't do nothing.
you know, yeah, it's like, oh, treason, you know, like
Treason.
How dare you turn against your country? And it's like,
How dare you give information to the American public? That's
yeah,
treason.
Yeah, let them know what's actually going on behind the curtain.
If what Julian Assange did was treason, then any time a U.S. media outlet leaks information from a foreign government to explain what's happening, they're engaging in treason. It's nonsense. We should, first of all, want people to be exposing what government's doing. If it wasn't for Edward Snowden, we would still have the government claiming that they aren't spying on every single bit of electronic communication we do without a warrant. When we would ask them, hey, why do you have a facility that's running up so much heat that you had to divert a river to help cool it? They'd go, nothing. Hanging out. And when Snowden, it took someone like a Snowden saying, no, they're taking, and then the government goes, oh, well, it's just the metadata. No, it's not. They're taking every single bit of communication and storing it for future use.
Just in case.
That's not for security. That's for blackmail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Everybody's loving you.
You want another softball? Let's talk about the Second Amendment.
Everybody's like, this is. Oh gosh, no. I mean, I know. I'm assuming that I already know what your thoughts on if I wanted to own all the guns and a tank, right?
Well, you're going to be completely shocked because we think that all gun laws are an infringement on your natural right to protect yourself however you wish to see
Are
fit.
you kidding
We
me?
think that all gun laws at any level. I know this is a shock, but bear with me. It will all make sense very soon. We believe that all gun laws are a blatant infringement on the Second Amendment, both by letter and by intent. And we believe that we are the well-regulated militia, the people, and we believe that the only, if the federal government is to truly be protecting the lives and the rights and property of the people, not only should it not be enforcing these laws, but it should be actively fighting against laws at all levels of government, and that is what Joe will do.
That's what I'm saying. Give me a tank. I will help. We will defend this nation.
Yeah, I'm
Starting
not
at my
just
driveway.
out there like shooting off the tank. That's going to be expensive.
Yeah, those rounds are expensive.
I don't want to hurt anybody or start any kind of violence.
Yeah.
I don't
violate
like to.
the map,
Yeah,
no
I don't
property rights.
want to do that.
When Joe says, bring the troops home and have America be like one giant Switzerland, armed and neutral, she's not just talking about the military. She's talking about the well-regulated militia. She's talking about y'all. Who's going to invade a country of 330 million armed people with home advantage? No one, especially when instead they can just have trade with us and we can all win.
Yeah.
Okay, so like my dad says, well, better than we haven't had this conversation in a while. But he did say like, well, it's better that we go over there than them come over here and.
Let them come over here.
I just kind of bite my tongue. 'Cause,
we'll be holding hands at the border.
I love them, and I don't want to like start anything.
Here's what I would ask them. Here's what I would ask your dad. when the 9/11 terrorists came over here, did that prevent us from going over there, or was that the catalyst for us to go there even more?
Even more.
What?
Even
When we
more?
go over there, they want to come over here. That's like saying, you know that guy over there that isn't doing anything to me? I'm going to punch him so he doesn't punch me.
Right? Because he could possibly punch me, and just in case, I'm
My neighbor's been looking at me kind of squirrely. I think I'm going to occupy their house.
Okay, I have to ask this before I forget, because Martini
And it's
is
getting late, too.
asking, how do we get you on the stage, on the debate stage? How do we get you and Joe up there? He's like, is there some kind of like...
Can we put money towards this?
Is there a GoFundMe? Is there a way we can pay to get you guys up on that stage? Come on. That would be amazing. You would tear them to shreds.
So, you know, I mean, I guess if we had hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars, we could put out our own scientific polls and basically demand that the CPD use them. Here's the problem. The debate cartel, the Commission on Presidential Debates, they've set criteria that require that anyone who be on the debate stage, they have to get 15% or more in 5 or more reputable opinion polls. Then those polls don't include us.
What?
So we can't get 15% because they won't even mention us. And in previous
weird?
years, they almost always mention third parties. They're not mentioning us precisely because they know that we would do well in it. Because everywhere I have gone, we have talked to people across the country, and I keep hearing from libertarian activists, libertarian voters across the country that they're hearing and seeing more excitement for this ticket than they've ever seen before. I've talked to people that have been in this party since 1971 when it was founded, and they all unanimously are saying that they're seeing more excitement on the ground every day from people than they've ever seen before. That amounts to us probably getting 15%. Couple that with the fact that the American people are disgusted with the fact that they're being presented with Donald Trump and Joe Biden as their two.
Right?
Isn't that hilarious?
I think right now, if they put up a hot dog and a jelly sandwich as the third option, it'd get probably pretty close to 15%, just because people are that frustrated. So they're doing everything they can to shut us out. So it is increasingly looking like they will successfully present a rigged sham of a debate. We will be protesting it. There are already people that are encouraging boycotts of the people that are sponsoring these sham debates. You know, we never were banking on this to happen to continue campaigning. Obviously, it's harder for us to be able to get our message out there without it. It's harder for us to be able to win or even to majorly contend without it. But it was never like, okay, well, if we don't do that, then we all just go home early. We are going to continue going and putting our message out to social media. We're going to continue doing ad placement on streaming services and on TV and radio. We're going to continue to go out and campaign. Competitors are hiding in their bunkers and basements, and while the American people are increasingly taking to the streets to express their disapproval of how things are going, we're going to meet them there on the streets and tell them that there is another option. So, you know, it's just a, you know, it's one of those things where we just have to do everything we can to get out in front of people. You know, we just keep doing it. The best thing that you can do is, if you're watching this at home, talk to everyone that you know and tell them in an engaging and empathetic way. You don't have to shove it down their throats.
Don't win.
Tell them why you're a libertarian. Ask them what their concerns are. Ask them why they're voting or why they're not voting. And based on what they say, you can take them on the journey for why you think human liberty will solve the problems that they're facing. And if you're not good at that, then direct them to my YouTube channel. I have a bunch of videos on there. You can spike them.
Wait, say it again, because it broke up.
You can spike them with it.
Oh, I said if you're not good at that, because some people aren't good at, you know, like presenting the liberty message or whatever. That's not their bag on doing that. Just send them over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/literally Spike Cohen. If you have them go to my YouTube, I've got a ton of videos on there. What do libertarians think about pretty much every subject? We have new videos coming out pretty much every day. Send them over there, and you know, we can spike pill them.
Definitely, yeah.
That's so great. How do you have time for all this? Like, you're out there campaigning. You're doing, you know, the Muddy
That almost
Waters.
killed
You're
Hillary
you know, like,
Clinton.
oh my gosh.
Remember when she was stumbling up the stairs because she was
know,
campaigning?
gosh.
She couldn't handle it. Ron Paul riding by on his bike, like,
yeah, and
ding,
everyone's
ding.
like, oh, Ron Paul's too old, and he's
Bling,
just
bling,
like,
motherfucker.
bling, bling, riding his bike, you know.
I pretty much wake up and do stuff
Piss
until I go to
excellence.
sleep. And I knew that's what my life would look like. I knew that's what my life would look like while I'm campaigning. I wake up and campaign until I'm asleep. And sometimes I'd nap in between and then wake up and campaign again. I knew my life would be like that. So like I go to the beach every single day. I haven't been once this summer. And which, by the way, after we get elected, I'm going to Barbados for a month. I don't care. Like I don't care. For the inauguration.
Everything else can wait.
Barbados, I'm here for a month. That is my reward to myself and my wife for being real troopers during this whole thing. But no, I do this because I live for it.
Great.
I
Go
feel
do
more.
that. Go do your thing, man. That's cool. Oh gosh.
It threw me off. I feel like you kept saying like that your arguments. I'm like, I feel like a lot of libertarians could use some like multi-level marketing training.
Yes. Read,
because we did Amway for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, it's like how to win friends and influence people.
Dave. Sorry.
But yeah, stuff like that. It's like
book,
learn how to like connect with people and not just win. It's like so
I was
huge.
thinking that earlier.
You're not
Like,
really
seriously.
winning. You might because you're not really winning. You're winning in your head. I just beat this status
But you're
bootlicker.
helping people.
You lost.
Yeah. I'm in the shower later, like owned him.
But if you're actually doing it
killed
right,
it,
then then you're making a friend.
You're
and
actually-
you're helping people.
You're winning people for your enemies. You're actually losing from the standpoint of actually bringing people into the movement. You are scoring victories for the people who want to enslave us all. Stop doing that, please.
Yes, please. Stop doing that, please. Please.
Go back to your private
Please
group
stop,
and
please.
hone your sword a little bit.
This wouldn't be, and I'm sorry if you have to go. I understand. Can I ask you just a couple more LLN stuff?
But if you have to
questions?
go,
Like,
Go ahead.
but if you have to go,
You are-
please,
No, go ahead.
You cut me off. But
taxed.
this wouldn't be Liberty Late Night if we didn't talk about food, and I love food. I'm. What are some of your favorite dishes? Like, if you could have anything given to you.
What's your Skid Row meal?
Yeah, well, I guess yes. Who said that? Yeah, what would be not necessarily your last meal, but
my death row meal would be a lot of stuff I can't eat right now because, like I said before, I'm on a very restrictive diet, and I like all the foods that I eat, but I am it's essentially a vegan plus fish diet, and a very low grain like paleo, like it's very restrictive. I can basically eat seafood and fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and some grains, and that's it. I can't have like anything with gluten in it. I can't have any dairy. I can't have any meat. So if I could have my death row meal would be several pounds of the finest meats and cheeses, pretty much everything I can't have right now. And I would say like a big loaf of wheat bread of some kind, or like a challah bread, which is like an egg bread. But the problem is it would fill me up, and then I wouldn't get to eat as much meat. So basically, I would like to be taken to a Brazilian steakhouse where I can just eat all the damn meat I want, and especially and as blue rare as possible, like barely cooked, just a little bit of sea salt and pepper, maybe a little rosemary, a little bit of teriyaki. That's it. No, cook it 4 minutes on each side, get it seared, put it in the oven for like 5 minutes, and shove it down my throat. That is how I want. So like red meat and just a lot of cow.
Sorry if we tortured you with that question.
I'm sorry, I forgot about the restricted. And then I'm.
No, it's fine. No,
okay,
it's fine.
Okay, because I'm terrible with food. Like I just.
Yeah, we live to eat.
Yeah, I need to learn to eat to live.
I'll go through little parts of my life where I'll just eat to live.
Yeah.
Which makes me hate food, but then I look super good. Right now, I'm not in that part of my life.
The key is to find, because I decided when I did this, I'm like, I'm going to do 0 cheat days. Like all I eat is stuff that complies with my diet. And so what I decided is I have to find things that I like and eat them as much as I want to. So like I eat a ton of smoked fish. I eat a ton of like vegetable dishes that I like. Like I eat how I want to eat within the confines of my diet. I don't do this like, I'll save that for a special guy. I eat it whenever the hell I want to. Like I indulge whenever I want to within the confines of my diet.
Oh, that's good.
And that kind of allows me to that allows me to have some control of how I eat. And it's also forced me to be creative in how I cook and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've learned a lot of things, but no, death row, I'm going to die anyway. Lots and lots and lots of animal products, specifically like smoked meats and like prime rib, like a blue rare prime rib, and like a Wagyu beef filet mignon wrapped in like applewood smoked bacon and a beef bacon, just so it's all cow and all cow and just like the really marbly cheeses. That's what I would eat a lot of, like just a lot of meat and dairy.
Oh, wow. That all sounds
so
actually
keto
really,
doesn't work for you.
No, I'm.
Now you're a really driven guy. Do you have any downtime? Do you have any things that you do that's not related to liberty or business or anything like that? Do you
maybe?
I mean, right now.
Yeah, pre-running for vice president.
Right now, no. But I'm not running for national office. So the things I like the most are, and people laugh when we say this, but it's actually true. My wife and I are very accomplished Latin dancers, and so we do a lot of like salsa dancing and bachata dancing and stuff like that. We actually go around the country going to like salsa dance events and stuff like that. That's not really happening right now because of the pandemic. It's just starting to come back.
If I would have discovered that, the promo meme would have been way different.
The promo meme would have been totally different if Dave knew.
That was an accomplished salsa dancer.
Yeah. We'd all be dancing.
I like. I'm a huge water guy. Like I like the beach. Usually by this time of year, I am way overtanned, like leathery looking, and I go to the beach like every single. I live like 5 blocks from the beach, 6 blocks from the beach, and so I go to the beach every single day during the summer. Usually try to go to Barbados during the either Barbados or Florida during like the off season, so I can be at the beach then. And so I'm a big like water guy, and I like dancing too. Those are like my 2 big things. I used to like hanging out with my dog, who was like my best friend, but we had to put him down about a month ago. Actually, to the day, a month ago today, actually.
Oh my.
Right before my bus, he went downhill real fast. But yeah, those are my things. I like dancing, swimming, walks on the beach. You know,
long walks on the beach.
Long walks.
Pina coladas.
No, that's amazing though. That is. I just like to dance to any kind of music that's on. So I just move around the house like whatever's on. But I've never I mean, I did tap when I was like 6, but maybe we should. Date night could be.
No, I want to do that. I want to do some kind of like hip hop routine.
I know.
And
Dave wants to.
If we ever go to like a wedding and just bust something out.
The Fortnite dances, Oh, heck yeah.
Fortnite dancing, yeah.
We have the kids. Do you play video games? Because our kids are way into Fortnite right now, and I'm trying to learn it, and I'm failing.
I used to play a lot when I was a kid, and I started getting into it when I was older. But you might be able to tell, but I have a little bit of an addictive personality. And I tend to throw myself into things and not do it part way.
Be the
and
best.
I found that I was just spending, I have to be like the best at it. And so I found when I was playing video games, I was just doing it all day long. And this was before the days when you could make a living doing that. Otherwise, my life might have completely gone in a different direction. So I don't really play that much. I don't really play anything now, but it's only for the same reason that I don't do drugs, that I would just be only doing that all the time.
Wow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I guess if you have an addictive personality, you got to picture addiction.
Yeah. The kids ask me like, "Oh, what's your favorite game, Mom?" And I'm
I keep seeing the question. I keep seeing the questions about the wood chippers.
I'm gonna let you. We're trying to avoid it, but
like you can totally bring it up.
I am a fan of machines that turn pedophiles into good pedophiles, and I will leave it at that.
Winner, guys! Oh my gosh!
You can't hear the sound effects I had every once in a while,
does a
but
ding, a ding, woo!
when you give a correct answer to our audience.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing! I'm so glad that we had this.
This was a lot of fun.
Hang out. I do want to ask, because Echo asked this, and I did want to ask about books that you're reading. Do you
still read?
Yeah. Do you have time to read, or when you do have time to read,
right
what's
now,
on your
no,
list? Yeah. What's on your list, or
right
what's
now,
next to the bedstand, on a normal day? Not right now.
Right now, any quote unquote downtime I have is just spent keeping up with current events that I have a stance on things when I'm asked about it.
Yeah.
I would say I have kind of gone through the libertarian works of that have kind of led me to where I am politically. The stuff that I've been focusing on has more been like reading about things like Taoism, reading about things like Stoicism, reading about things like anything about like mindfulness, reading about trying to restructure how we process things.
Yeah.
And because we all tend to live life like this. Like if you picture you're driving, but you're like this,
Yeah.
and your head's right at the windshield and you're freaking out, that's kind of how we live. And then sometimes we either live that way or we live in this really weird like autopilot where we're barely even paying attention to the road and almost don't even care what's happening anymore. And it seems to be one of those extremes. Instead of us being in like a calm and ready state of looking at things and allowing things to happen and adapting to things as they come about. And I mean, driving isn't the best analogy there, because really you should be a little bit more actively involved in driving. But the way a lot of us go through life is either like we don't even care and just whatever happens, I don't even care. I just, just leave me alone or whatever. Or we're like, what's going to happen next? I'm freaking out and I feel like I have control because I'm closer to, watching it. And so I focus a lot on like reading a lot about how to not do that and how to look at things in a completely different way and re-examine what contentment looks like, what happiness looks like, what fulfillment looks like, and things like that. So it's weird because like I'm the hippie Spike that I would have laughed at in the past, but it's very much like kind of retooling how it is that I think about things, which has really helped me to interact with others better, because when you are less inside your own head and when you're more, so here's a perfect example of how this plays out. We were in Oakland and I was at a fundraiser dinner, and I heard from one of the people on the bus who was very, very angry that someone went by and saw the bus and read what was on it and got real angry and spat on the bus and walked away. And he was like pissed off. He's telling me this and he's all pissed off. And my only thought was like, I wonder what that guy was thinking when he did that. Yeah. Like, and not like, what was he thinking, but like just genuinely interested in what would drive someone to look at a picture of Joe Jorgensen and read Jorgensen Cohen and yell and spit and run away. Like where, is that, like, did they have a legitimate concern about us?
Yeah.
Did they see that did they think that we were going to take votes from their candidate that they liked? Are they just battling mental illness and they would have spat on anything? But
I'm going to go with that option.
That's probably the most likely option. But the fact that my brain went there is from spending the last 3 years like retooling how I process things. And that has allowed me to have so much less of a stressful life, because we are often, when we get stressed out, it's because someone has invited us to be stressed with them, either by getting us all worked up about something or emoting at us and making us angry. Really, that's just an invitation for us to get as worked up and hateful of everything that's going on as they are. And we don't have to. We can be like, no, I'm okay. I'm going to just witness what you're doing and think about it and ask you questions.
I'm going to do that when
has
my
been incredibly
7-year-old
freeing.
has a freak out. Can I do that when my 7-year-old has one of his like freak out episodes? Because when he's decided to be upset that I said it's time for your brother to be on the TV in the living room, so he can play his game, because we're taking turns, and then he does his thing, and then I'm just like, I start to feel panicky, like I have to make this better. He's crying, he's sad, and he's angry, and I need to, and like maybe I could just be like, okay, that's just what you do, bro. Like, I mean, I'm trying really hard, but sometimes I have to like peace out.
So much of peaceful parenting is exactly that. Instead of reacting to what your kid's doing, taking a moment to consider where they're at, like how they're processing this, and how there are ways to direct them in, and it's not always going to work, but to try to find ways to direct them into expressing their feelings in more constructive or positive ways. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, it's because they're kids and their brains are still developing. Mm-hmm. And, as long as they're not harming anyone, it might be okay to let them feel that and to tell them, hey, listen, it's okay that you're experiencing these feelings, but this isn't how we do it or whatever. But yeah, no, actually, I know you were joking, but yeah, part of the whole peaceful parenting vibe is being more introspective and more reflective instead of reactive when you're seeing what's happening, reflecting at why this is happening, and trying to consider where the kid's at, and almost thinking, well, if I were in this situation, how would I want someone to talk to me? How would it calm me down if I were in this situation?
Yes.
Or is that even?
I feel like I've been a little bit on the reactive side the last few months, where I'm just like, because everybody's like crying or yelling or screaming. Not all the time, but I always feel like it is. It's loud here.
I don't have any kids. I cannot even imagine.
Do you have
when I see
brothers
how
and sisters? Are you an only child?
So my dad had a marriage like 15 years before he married my mom, and so I have like a brother who's like 14 years older than me, and a sister who's like 11 years older than me.
Okay.
So they're almost like how an aunt and uncle would be, more so than like a brother sister.
And I'm an only child, so
but
I have no clue how the dynamic of 3 children at home is supposed to be.
And that's the thing. There wasn't. There weren't 3 children at home. They lived with. They would be with us sometimes, but they were more often they were with their.
So you were more
mother.
of an only child in your household.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, so you guys.
That's what I have. Cause
I know
no
chaos. I lived in chaos. I grew up in chaos.
Yeah. I'm like, are they supposed to be like hitting each other like this?
I lost chunks of hair. That's how we show each other we love each other.
Yeah. Dave's like, it's all normal. I'm like, okay. I hope I'm doing this right. Was there one last thing? Did anybody say anything? You were pointing to the comments, but okay. I don't want to keep you longer than necessary because you need your rest, because you're out there really doing stuff, like actively out there.
Unless you want to hang
doing things. Unless you want to hang out still.
Then
I mean, I'm
screw
not
work
kicking
in the
you
morning.
off. You can stay as long as you want.
Yeah, I would love. I would love to hang out longer. I also have stuff starting in the AM.
Yes.
With the interviews and everything else, but I really did have a great time, and I'm glad we got to talk. I forget who it was that asked me to reach out to you.
Yes,
the Hondas.
Garrett and Michaela Honda.
Garrett and Michaela, yeah.
And that was amazing because they said we talked to him. He said he'd reach out to you, and I'm like, that's awesome. I was all fired up, and I'm like, wait, what if he doesn't reach out? And you reached out that night, I think.
And then Facebook never showed us.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Seriously, neither of us got a message from our page.
I think when they asked me, I had my body man put it in a note or something to do that. So like as soon as I got back to my phone, it was like the first thing I did because it was right there. So no, I did it that same night.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you so
yeah,
much.
You're
oh my
amazing.
gosh. Yeah, because
that you're doing the campaigning and interacting, socially.
They were excited to
Blew
be
me
there,
away.
and they had gone up, got a hotel room, stayed there. We had chatted with them a little bit, and we were just like, oh my gosh, like tell them to come on Liberty Late Night because that would be so rad, And they're like, we will. I'm like, okay. And then they're like, we told him, and he's gonna reach out, and then they did reach out.
So, but they're in the middle of the fire, so we're gonna send them some T-shirts.
Yeah, they're gonna get some shirts.
Yeah, we left right as the smoke was starting to develop,
Yes.
and then like 2 days later, I'm looking and it's like the skies are red. It's an absolute nightmare there. I keep hoping that it just starts raining there.
Yeah.
So
And
that
it has
they
been.
had a little bit
Michaela
today.
said they had rain.
It was a sprinkle today, then it went
I was
away.
hoping
But
it was more than a sprinkle, but yeah, it's wild over there
Well,
on the
good,
West
good.
Coast. Yeah,
but it seems like their community's like stepping up and working really good.
yeah, working together to take care of each other and stuff. So, Spike, thank you so much for coming on. This was amazing talking with you. And you know what? I have to tell you. Wait.
Aaron gave us $5 and said, "Is $5 still the going rate for Spike to show nip?"
Oh no!
Aaron's been watching too much Liberty Late Night.
So I started the unfortunate precedent on our show that if Aaron gives us money, I will show my chest hair. But the problem is that I'm now running for national office.
I'm like,
so
well, this is the perfect show to do that.
No, people are like,
I know. I feel like what a perfect moment squandered, but I can't do it.
That's
I
understandable.
understand.
Yeah.
We totally understand.
Everybody's like, is Joe going to come on? And I'm like, I don't know. Joe's running for president. And we are Liberty Late Night.
Yeah. I was like, "Grr."
She already got like ripped on for going on somebody who supported the Book Boys or something like that.
Oh boy,
It's
hang
so
out
weird.
with a bunch of anarchists here.
That was nonsense. That was a bunch of garbage where I forget, it was a Daily Mail or the Guardian. It was one of the British papers.
One of them.
And they just asked her. It was a total hit piece because they asked her, do you remember going on this show and or something like that? And she was like, yeah, I was on this show. And they said, did you notice that one of them was wearing Boogaloo shirt or whatever?
A Hawaiian shirt?
A Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah, Hawaiian shirt. And
CNN
then
boys.
they wrote this thing where they talked about white supremacists and all this stuff. They never asked Joe about any of that. They just asked about like a Hawaiian shirt. And they crafted a whole like hit piece about it. And meanwhile, everyone is having to change their tune about the boob. Even like the ADL had to say that it's much more complicated than being some far right group. That they are, and that it's even more complicated than just calling them an anti-government group. That it's a far more complicated. And of course, if anyone wants to ask me, I tell them the boog is very simple. We are peaceful. We want to be left alone. We do not want you to come and take our ability to defend ourselves in our communities. And if you do, there are going to be problems. So please don't.
Yeah.
That is as American as it gets. Yeah. That is foundational American stuff there.
Yeah. Don't come at me. Don't come at me.
Fuck around and find out.
I don't wanna. I just want to be left alone.
Please, I have kids. I have a family. I have a life.
Yep. That's exactly.
Avoid the scientific method with me, and we can just go and continue living our lives.
Exactly.
And that's the statement of the boog. And when I have boogs, I mean, I have dozens of boogs that come out to my stuff, and I love every one of them. What I keep hearing from them over and over again, these are everyday people who are saying, this is our line. Don't cross this line. Don't cross it. The law says you're not supposed to cross it. The Second Amendment is the law. It says that you shouldn't cross this line and you shouldn't take away our right to keep and bear arms. You shouldn't infringe upon it. So don't. Obey the law and there won't be any trouble. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah. Dave's writing this down.
I just love avoid the scientific method with me.
Yeah. No, it's so true.
I love that so much. That is so good. I'm writing it down.
I love your whole take on it, though. Yeah, and I'm sorry that they did that to her. I mean, that's what the media does, of course, because they want to spin one side against the other. You guys, like, oh, look at, she's associating with so and so.
Yeah,
that's really sad. And you know what?
Listen.
Oh, go ahead.
When you have bat powers, you aren't worried about the opinion of sheep anymore.
Right.
Somebody in the chat asked about the bat powers. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
Oh, this is great. This is so great.
Bat people do not concern themselves with the opinion of sheep. No. I actually considered briefly getting scratched by a pangolin in solidarity, but it turns out that we couldn't actually find a pangolin whose like the facility would let me come even within like 100 yards.
Oh wow! 100 yards?
a pangolin is like this. It's the thing. This is a COVID joke, and it's not a good one because they said that COVID originated either from a bat or a pangolin. And a pangolin is like this weird armadillo-looking thing. This is a terrible joke. And deconstructing it makes it even worse.
It makes it worse. But I need to know the premise because I feel like I gotta understand the memes, bro.
Yeah, no one will ever make a meme about me being scratched by a pangolin. I hope. Hopefully that can just die.
No, I'm sorry. We have meme lords in the audience, so it's gonna happen. And you know what? We all wanted to see you on here, and here you are, and this has been such a fantastic night. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
I feel excited.
I'm excited because I thought it was going to go well, and it went well. And
yes, we always just get nervous before a show anyway.
Especially
like,
when this many people showed up, like at the beginning. You bring a crowd, bro.
Yeah, you bring a crowd. Yes, you do. Thank you. Thank you
for having me on, and I greatly appreciate it. And folks, if you like what you heard, follow me on social media, at Real Spike Cohen on Twitter, Facebook.com/literally Spike Cohen, YouTube.com/literally Spike Cohen. I'm on TikTok while it exists. So if TikTok continues to exist, I'm at literally Spike Cohen on TikTok. On Instagram, I'm at literally Spike Cohen. If you search for Spike Cohen on social media, you will find me, especially my YouTube. if you are one of these folks that, you're not the best at explaining things, or you just don't have the time or the patience, and people are going, yeah, but what do libertarians think about that? You just send it to my YouTube. I've probably already answered it multiple times on there. Nice little minute to 2 minute videos. Some of them are like 5-6 minutes, but they break down everything, what libertarians think about stuff, what libertarian policies would look like, how we can reach people with liberty messages, all that kind of stuff. The wasted vote fallacy, everything that's on there. So check that out. If you want to join our team, we'd love to have you. Go to lp.org and join the Libertarian Party. And after you do that, go to joe20.com. We have a volunteer form. We'd love to have you join our team. If you're able to make a contribution, we'd greatly appreciate anything you can get. And I appreciate you having me on. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
awesome.
Spike. Oh my gosh. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you.
Thank you for your time. I know it's valuable right now.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you all. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Rosh Hashanah. Shana Tova. Have a great night. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
I get excited. Like, oh my gosh, he's great to listen to, like, and talk with,
Bro, you good.
I want a huge shout out to the Hondas, because they went up in Eugene, Oregon, and went to see him speak. We talked to him a few weekends ago, and they're like, yeah, we're at a hotel, we're gonna go see him speak. And Dave's like, just tell him about Liberty Night,
tell him to get on the show. Yeah. And he's like, I'm working on it.
And then Garrett messages like the next day after the thing they went to see, and he's like, I told you, he's gonna message you. And then that night,
yeah,
Spike
I missed it for 2 days.
But it's not us, it was Facebook.
Yeah.
Neither of us got that
But our fans are still
through.
out there, like, sending him messages. I'm getting all these messages, like, he's responding, he's saying talk.
And so many of you guys
thank
are, like,
you guys.
out there tagging Liberty Late
making
Night.
the show, because you guys are the show.
Yep, saying get on. And it's just, this was so much fun.
Yeah.
This was so much fun. Oh my gosh, so much fun. I really,
sorry we couldn't get all your questions.
I'm sorry.
We've learned to not ask questions that we don't understand until we Google them.
You know what, though? I think as far as what Jacob was talking about was when we were talking about MS, Jacob has something of his own. And that's what he was talking about. And so I'm going to message him later and just like...
Yeah, I can't after party, Caleb. I gotta work in the morning.
Small after party, half hour after
oh my gosh,
party.
you guys, there's 75 still here. You aren't all our friends. Please be our friends.
Get on Float, y'all. Get on Float, FLOTE.
Yeah.
Go to your whatever app store and get on Float, and
because we're gonna do stuff on there. I want to watch. I want to watch Fear and Loathing on there. Maybe Sunday night or something.
Because we can like do stuff on there and hang out and
we can watch a movie together.
Yep.
Talk about it.
Oh man, this was so much fun. Also, Sean
FLOTE
had you message me, so because message me. So yeah, FLOTE.
Nays watched the beginning of the show.
After party on Float, I know.
I don't know what
Do you guys still work?
Yeah.
Okay, no. He's talking about what Jacob has. Yes. And that's what, and I've talked to Jacob about that before, what he has. So I understand that you didn't know that, and you thought Jacob might have been trolling you with like.
Here's the thing about Float, and I'm going to promote Float a little bit because they're working on a thing. If you go onto Facebook and you go into your options, you can
Thanks everybody for being here.
You can download your Facebook history in JSON format, JSON format. It gives you the option somewhere in your options. Because who knows when all of us libertarians are just going to be purged from Facebook because we want to stop the Russians. But you can take that stuff and you can go to Float. Eventually, they're working on it right now, and you can upload it, and you can have your whole history, all your pictures, all your posts, everything. Well, pictures and posts, I think they had a limit to it. But you can upload that in the Float, and then you'll have that stuff that you can look back on a platform that's not going to censor you and delete you because you're a libertarian.
Right.
So do that.
Because you think outside the box. Oh, what? You can think outside the box over there.
I mean, there's.
Ain't nobody gonna
I think Facebook's dying, and there's going to be a battle for who's going to be the next up and coming platform.
Float.
I know Liberty Memes is trying to make their own platform. Which we support because we are the official live stream Liberty Memes. But right now, Float is doing it, so we're on there and we're doing it with them, and we're having fun, and we love Aaron and King.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Hopefully, I'm going to message King, and I hate to say this in public, but I want you to have you on the show next week.
Oh my gosh, I would love to have them on.
So I'm going to send you a
Seriously.
message.
Yeah,
if you guys
that
want to
would
come on
be
and hang out with us, that'd be awesome.
Yes, the Liberty Memes app.
Oh,
yeah,
plus we got
it'll be for the Liberty Memes
Bitcoin.
folks, you know?
We got Bitcoin for the first time ever.
Oh yeah, yeah. Last week was that last week or I can't remember.
And I've been watching
time
it,
just
and
runs
it's like fluctuating
together,
like crazy. It's awesome. But fluctuate down, up. I've been making money. That's awesome.
Oh god.
On money I didn't have. It's awesome.
Okay, so Fleece Ford
Trey,
says
Juan,
who
hi.
has EDS? Oh yeah. Okay, so I think that's what we were talking about with Jacob. Because he has something. He has something. And I know I've talked to him about it before because of his shoulder. He was having problems. And he said that because of whatever it is that he has. And I can't remember the name, but I think that's what he wanted you to ask about.
Well, I'm sorry.
But
It sounded like a conspiracy theory thing. and I'm like,
I
can't ask.
understand. I understand because you
I don't
were
know,
nervous.
yeah.
You didn't know what it was. And you were like, is somebody trolling me to say like, hey, what do you think about, and then, so I get it. I'll let him know.
Oh, I have
It's
a
fine.
wallet address. Let me grab it. I know how to do that now.
Doing it. Oh, Dave's been on float every day, every day, like a lot. Yeah, he's like, I don't really go to Facebook anymore. Today he did just to promote this whole thing, but he's like, I've really been spending a lot of time.
Yeah, because I'll go on there and I'm wishing there was more posts because I don't want to go to Facebook. I don't want to do it. Like I've been trying to post more on
So
Float.
everybody come over to Float. So
I think that's my wallet address.
So we can all be there,
Right there.
and hang out. I'm Night Mary, by the way, and I need to
you're
get
on
on there.
Float.
Like, yeah, I am
Yeah, you
on
need to
Float.
get on there and post so I can
I
see
do.
your stuff and
Okay.
like it.
All right. I'll post the pictures of the heads that we cut out.
Yeah, Facebook's new standards, we're all getting taken out.
Oh yeah, bye
Download
bye
your
everybody. Download it now.
Nays can tell you, download your history, download your memories. Download your memories onto the cloud.
Put your what is that thing in the what was that?
Oh,
that
yeah.
Show?
Yeah, what is that?
Chip. It's not a chip. Is it a chip?
What was that
Sounds like
show?
it was better. Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon. Your stack.
Your stack.
You got to
Download
download
your
your stack
stack.
now. Otherwise, you're going to be erased.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yes, please spend more time on Float.
Josh, thanks
I
for
get up
coming
early
in.
and I'm waiting for posts. See, Nays forgot the last 37 years, and now he's on Float and he's putting up weird Wilamowski memes, and it's great.
Is he putting up Wilamowski
Yeah.
memes?
A couple people. If you look up hashtag Wilamowski memes on Float, there's a couple posts.
Oh boy.
Yeah, see, Facebook just booted Joey.
Yep.
Watching our stream.
Because Facebook be like that. People don't think it'd be like that, but it do.
Upload your dick pic archives to Float.
No,
You
I
don't
don't
wanna
know
lose
about
those.
that.
Well, you don't want to lose them because you.
I mean, I'm not
It ain't getting
judging
any
or anything.
younger.
Like,
It ain't getting any younger.
okay, thank you. See, okay, so Dave
you
did
got
not
to be
know
more
that.
specific
Because Jacob said
because people are saying like Pizzagate and then Ellers Danlos, and I'm like, I'm not asking them that
Dave
until I
was
can
so nervous. Like, oh my gosh, is this a conspiracy? I'm gonna be at,
Yeah, just
like,
tag not safe for work. I had to explain that to a
But
friend.
yes, I knew that, but I wasn't looking at the comments at the time until I saw Dave say, "I'm not asking that, Jacob," and I was like, "Oh,
No, I had to
he's
Google.
probably." I understand.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I
comments
understand.
coming in.
I understand. There was a lot of comments tonight. This was so much fun. We had a lot of people.
Dude, there was a lot of people.
And Jacob was our winner tonight. He got the urinal shot
The urinal
glasses.
shot glasses.
and
Sorry,
and the
we're like-
desktop cornhole.
And we decided that like literally 3 minutes before the stream started.
This is what I'm going to say. I have all week to think about what's the next gift to give away, but I'm always nervous because Kirk comes in saying it's not
wants
good
hookers
enough.
and blow.
He
Yeah.
wants hookers and blow.
Our,
And I'm
our
like,
Patreon isn't big enough.
I can't give away Russian hookers, Kirk. I'm
Ryan,
sorry.
we're not going to do an after party tonight, but we might do like something separate on Float. Like I said, watch a movie or hang out.
Not tonight, though.
Not tonight.
Not
Maybe
tonight.
like
Although
Sunday
I really
night.
want to, but
No.
Dave says
I'm a
no.
human being and I have to sleep.
He does. Dave, you know what time Dave went into work today? 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he came home.
Literally 11, 12, 1, 2,
he
3
came-
hours
yeah,
from now.
Yeah, he went to work at 2:30 in the morning and he came home at 3 p.m. So he does need his rest.
Garrett, it was huge. I'll have to check it. You know what's funny is, you know who beat McAfee's numbers on YouTube at least? Was what's his name? With the pig suit. Michael. What's Michael's last
I
name?
can't think of his last name.
He beat McAfee.
With the
YouTube
with
numbers.
the YouTube numbers, really? Yeah. No, they're good.
Yeah, he's
people,
got a
too.
following.
They need to get over to Float.
No, we did not hit Whiskey Warrior numbers. We'll never see those again because I deleted that. I was just glad that no trolls really came in that I saw.
Or came to our home.
Or came to our home, which is great
Yeah.
because we have small children.
Damn, that was a shitty time. I mean, the whole thing
that's
was
what- that's what it is.
You
Yeah,
know,
Picard.
but like,
Yeah.
Picard. Thank you.
Yeah, he beat McAfee numbers.
Thank you. Yeah. Yep. Love you, Celeste. Pals. I fucking love you,
I
Celeste.
love pals.
You have to tell me
I didn't
what
even
you're
finish
cooking.
my drink. I'm
Um,
like somewhere around here.
man. Oh, are
you
those
got-
the
you
good
got it?
hookers there? Snowden.
Gary Dykstra got the archived video. I
Shut
deleted
up.
it. We freaked out. Like
You got to archive it? Yeah, Whiskey Warrior Night was crazy.
Yeah.
Echo! Oh my gosh! See, so we found people found us. We found them. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. Thank you
And
for
that's
coming back
what
to
we
hang
learned.
out.
1 out of 1,000 people is a sociopath.
And they'll message you and
Luckily,
tell
we
you
only
they're
had
gonna burn your house
150
down.
or so tonight.
Yeah. No, but really, like, I got a message from a guy that was like, "I'm
Yeah,
gonna burn your
everybody's
house
super-
down." And I'm like, and then he sent me my address, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
My MJ Smith knows that
Yeah.
that they're delayed. He's like, "Did anybody say Picard?" I didn't say it. But thank you.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Gary. I almost don't ever want to see that because it scares me. Like when the phone starts.
No, it was
ringing, like,
really interesting. It was
wasn't
a really
interesting.
fun thing to do. We have to anonymize ourselves before we do something like that again.
Scrub
but-
ourselves from existence.
But
All right,
he didn't give me time to realize what was actually going on,
and
which
we weren't
makes me
even really
upset.
I don't think we were even drinking. Like,
That's what makes me so upset because like as I realized what was going on, he was doing his shit
mean-
and scared us, and we left before I could say, "This is all wrong. Something's wrong here."
Yeah.
I think, and I was starting to
Celeste,
say
we
it.
need to talk about this keto. Celeste is prepping for keto. Lo mein.
It's so
Lo mein?
comforting. What are the odds I meet
Yeah.
another one? Joel met another sociopath.
Oh.
No, I think he bordered on psychopath. He wanted to burn down our house,
Yeah, I don't know.
and he told me. That's why I said that's not the
And he told
weirdest
me,
DM
too,
I
yeah.
got.
It's me.
Wait, what?
It was Celeste the whole
Oh,
time.
Celeste, that's so silly. You're so crazy.
Phew,
Oh my
now
gosh, so crazy.
I didn't sleep well for like 3 nights.
but
It's
it's
right before
Celeste, so it's
Thanksgiving, but now I
Celeste.
feel fine. I know, Sonny. Yeah, the whole thing was. It was really weird. It was really, really a weird time. Guys, did we say get on to Float?
Yeah,
Did
we
say
said
that. Like, for realsies.
We're gonna do stuff over
Oh
there.
my gosh, it's gonna be so much fun. Brooke, thanks for hanging out. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you were here. Yes.
The keto. I thought I might get away from the keto guilt on this stream. Nope.
Oh, fingers crossed.
You have to continue
Oh,
hating
yes.
food, Meg.
Thanks for hanging out, each and every one of you guys. And I'm sorry I couldn't read every comment because I love to read
That's
all
my
of your
job. I'm
comments.
reading my
I know,
point.
I do, but
Like,
I'm
I'm trying to acknowledge
engaged.
you guys.
Yes.
Mary has to talk to the person.
Meg, I'm sorry. I love beer, so I have a hard time with keto, you know, like, I'm just saying. But
Wow, thanks, Nick.
I do love bacon and beer and barbecue, which is why 3Bs is amazing.
Yeah, beer, barbecue, and
Nick,
bacon.
thank you. Oh my gosh, are you serious? What? Thank you. Fell off the
Now my
wagon so
pants
hard a
don't
month
fit,
ago.
yeah.
Now my pants up. Oh,
No, yeah, I fell off the wagon and gained
I-
like 40 pounds.
1 month I went keto, and I was like, yes.
Mary couldn't do it.
No, I did. For the first like 3 weeks, I was like, this is amazing. This is wonderful. I'm losing weight. I'm eating all this food. This is so great. And then like the last week, I was like,
I'll
I hate
acknowledge
food.
MJ
I don't even
Smith
want to eat
again.
anything. I couldn't even eat. I was like, I don't want to touch food. I felt sick. Like I couldn't touch food. I was obviously doing
It's
it wrong.
that Snowden. Snowden's always doxing people.
And then I got off of it, and then just boop, right back up. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah.
You think
so much
people
beer
use
today,
that?
Juan.
Does
I
that
love
thing-
you, Juan, and I love you, Trey. Because I know you guys are hanging out together watching the stream.
Potatoes.
Right? Yeah.
All right, I'm hammered.
Potatoes.
I gotta
Me
work
too.
in the morning.
Yeah. I love potatoes.
I think we held it together well
hash
for the
browns in the
interview.
morning. Ooh, I think
Right?
so too.
Yeah. was great.
I decided not to do another shot until like an hour into the interview.
You did great. I was like counting I'm like, where's the bottles?
Yeah. I
You
didn't
did-
start drinking heavily-ish until towards the end. Spike was so fun. Oh my gosh.
That was great. It was so fun to like just be like, here, let me give you another question, let you knock it out
Keto
of the
beer?
park.
What's that? What?
So
Sorry.
no, to give Spike another question, just let him knock it out of the park because
Yeah.
you know he was
Yep.
gonna. That's what it's like. Somebody said, "Does Spike know your audience?" And I'm like, I kind of think Spike is our audience.
No, he is. He belongs here. D. Snowden. Yes.
Poison chip.
He nailed Dave because Dave said he would eat the fucking chip.
Oh, I was so man.
and then-
I was so much man.
And then Dave ate the chip. But the thing is that the chip wasn't
No,
hot
yeah, here it
up
was
here.
fine.
It was fine up here.
Yeah, down here,
But once it hit your belly,
that was a fucking nightmare.
Dave took off, and then you ended up throwing it up, right?
Yeah, I never got part 2.
The night before my 40th birthday.
Bourbon is keto beer.
It was
All
such
right.
a great night. No, it was so much fun. I gotta go because Dave's gotta go.
Yeah.
So if he's gotta go, I'm trying to be a better Mary. I'm trying to be a better Night
Yeah.
Mary. Night Mary?
So how deep am I into my work week? I only have 7 more days till a day off. Next weekend, off the chains, man.
Ooh, after party.
After parties,
next
yeah.
Friday
I'm guaranteed
night
a
after
weekend off.
party. Yes, he is guaranteed. He has to work two full
3.
weeks. 3. Okay, so it's
I
like
get the 3rd weekend off.
Monday through Sunday, Monday through Sunday, Monday through
Friday,
Friday, and then you get that Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday off.
which we're
So,
coming up on this week.
We're coming up on yay!
Dude, that was
Oh my
such a
gosh.
great show. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for making the show.
guys so much. Yes.
Like I said, it's like imagine just us with no comment section, like just doing a show like pre-recorded.
No,
No,
we can't
No.
do that.
that's why I always say you guys are the show. That's when I say LLN's here. That's with you guys.
Yeah. All y'all. Seriously. Oh my gosh. I have to pee. I drank so much beer. I drank. I did.
Oh.
Oh gosh, excuse me. Pardon me. That's for Toby.
Toby.
I belch. I try not to belch during the interviews, but for those who don't know, I do belch like because I
Yeah,
have to. So
because we're real.
because we're real people. So, oh man, I love seeing new faces, new people coming in, hanging
Yeah.
out, like just
Are they
being
still
here with
here?
us. Yeah. Look at hi Meg. Look,
There's still
Meg, I think
there's
Meg
still
just stole
44
my
people on
burp.
Facebook. There's new people here.
Oh,
You guys are falling
gosh.
asleep to us.
Oh, Joey, do you want me to read you Goodnight Moon?
Good night.
It was beautiful. I hope you went back and watched it, Joey. Seriously.
So we got to promote Liberty Memes and what they do.
Liberty Memes and the
Liberty
$5.
Memes. We promote voluntarism
Mm-hmm.
as libertarianism. What he said, caring libertarianism. Let them know that you care. We're trying to help people in real life. Check out Liberty Memes. Check out Liberty Memes community group. Check out the Liberty Memes $5 club, where we're making a real impact in people's lives.
Yes. That's that. Watch for Ella. Watch Ellen for this thing. No, but really, voluntary action is what Liberty Memes is all about, and they have Liberty Memes $5 charity club, and it's all about helping people. And $5 a month, honor system.
Yeah.
Join the group.
Help people, real
Help
life
people, real life stuff, so they
And
don't
tell
have
them
to
that the
depend on the
government- yeah.
so they don't have to wait for the government to come rescue
Because
them.
libertarians care.
Because libertarians actually do care. We have a bad rap.
I'd rock you to sleep
yeah.
so hard, Ryan.
Oh, you can though. We're gonna see him in a month, less than a month.
I get to hold Ryan.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna hold Ryan.
I will fucking pick him up. I will rock him.
And then Seth's gonna spoon you, and you're gonna spoon Ryan.
It's gonna
Sorry.
be
We're
big sandwich. Oh, this is we're going too deep into.
Oh, he listened. Best bedtime story in years. That's so much fun. All right, guys. So we do this thing every Friday night. So come back Friday night.
We might have guests. We might not. We might just talk to you guys in the comments.
Yeah, 9:30 Eastern.
Every Friday. On all these platforms.
On every platform, and we'll be here.
Make
Leave
sure
a like if you are depressed.
And we get to hang out and just chat, you know? So, and hopefully...
Don't drink alone. Drink with Liberty Late Night.
Hopefully soon we'll get to have the founders of Float on. If it's not next week, then maybe, you know, whenever is convenient for them. But
I'm going to hit them up tomorrow.
We're hoping for... yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good.
Liberals!
We have
I
buttons.
don't know what that button... Yeah, I got a lot of buttons.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
That's for me.
Shit up,
That's,
B.
all right, Mary's got to go. Night, Mary. Yeah. That's for me. So.
That's for the Fallen Profiles on Facebook. You won't get that over here.
Go to Float.
Because there's some
Facebook
sketchy
ain't-
shit over here.
No,
and
there
they're still there.
doesn't.
No, I've looked around a little.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're all free to be free.
Yeah, and you can
don't
block
like
those
it,
sketchy people.
You don't like it. You don't
block
watch
those
it.
fuckers.
That's how it's supposed to be.
You
know?
don't need a platform to tell you who's going to be blocked. You block them
Right.
yourself.
You block them yourself. Yes.
Wrap it up.
Right.
Why, you're getting nervous, man.
I thought of a song earlier, but I can't play it here.
No, not here.
It's for next
Yes,
week.
F's for the
on
Fallen
Float.
Profiles.
Yes, F's for
Sean Hatchie,
everybody.
Aaron Kentner, Ash,
James Higgins, Court. Yep. Yes. It is Night Mary. Night Mary's in the house. This is Night Mary grabbing the wrong beer. So, yes. Oh, gosh, guys, thanks for hanging
Yeah, we
out
should
with us.
go.
We should go. I have to pee really
We've
bad.
gotten to that point. We want to end
and
this a
if
normal
I try
show
to leave,
because...
Dave's not going to be able to...
No, yeah.
He's just going to sit here and look at
Thanks,
everybody,
Alex.
so.
That's awesome. We're going to hang out.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to hang out with
yeah.
Alex now. You're going to get notifications. You got to ring the bell or whatever the hell else
do
these
all the
other platforms
things
make
that
you do.
The platforms make you do.
If
Click
you
the
go on
notifications,
Facebook,
the
there's
bells,
an
and all the
option
things,
for
you know, like,
live notifications when we go live because that's what we do. Like we shared some memes that went gone viral that got our page a little bit bigger, but it's the memes that I post that say we're going live tonight are the ones that matter. That the people that want to see us go
I'm
live.
so bad at like which side I'm at here. Like Aaron.
Yeah, it's really hard. We'll never get used to it. Oh,
I can't pee in the sink.
no.
I'm sorry. I
Kitty.
can't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go upstairs to the actual bathroom. So you know.
Good night, Echo. I don't know
Love
what
you
the
guys.
last
Yay.
Friends thing I did was, but we'll give you a great Scott.
As an echo, yes. Because
Even though I did-
Echo said to
do
us
it
one
again.
time, like,
I'll do it again. Hold on. I'll fucking do it again.
Echo said, anytime I come
You want
on,
to see me
just
do it again?
play the hello that you played before, so it's an echo, right? And Echo, thanks for bringing your friend last week to watch. I hope that we didn't
Yeah,
freak her out too much. We're just.
It wasn't
like-
Wednesday, was it?
No, it was last Friday.
Wednesday was
yeah.
crazy. We do a streaming and Liberty Memes like Patreon closed
You
group.
don't leave yet.
It gets
We're
crazy.
still here. Yeah.
we can't leave.
I can't, Dan. I can't do it.
When does Spike come on? Hold on, do we have a counter?
I love our comment section. Yeah.
Hold on.
Honda button. They want the Honda button. Oh my gosh, you guys are
Hold on,
making
we
me
got
pee
Spike's
myself.
coming on in 15 minutes. Hang out, Nays.
No. For those who don't know us. See you some other time. Yeah. Oh. Look at Sunny. Look at Sunny. Sunny and Juan and Court are
Yeah, go to
all
sleep.
for you
Yeah.
going to sleep. Yeah.
Sonny,
yep.
thanks for all the
Mhm.
bumps today, man. And thanks for the memes. Tal Yee said that we should do a section on fan art.
On fan art.
Yeah, we got a lot of fan art this week, and maybe we
Oh.
could do it like once every couple weeks.
Yes.
But we get a lot of fan art, and like today
Mary
was
put
fucking
something out.
fire on Sunny. Holy cow!
I'm so glad, Echo. Oh, the fan art. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard because
Sunny
like the
brings
closed
back-
group stuff is supposed to stay in closed group.
Jacob. Send me your address. Send me or Dave your address, and we'll mail it out through Amazon. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna pee myself.
Okay, we should go.
Can you give me a minute? I can run. I can be like.
No,
2
we're
minutes.
going. We're
Okay.
going. It's midnight.
see you for movie night.
We will do a movie night.
Movie night.
Maybe I'm gonna say Sunday night, and I'm gonna work Mary into it. But I really want to watch.
Me into it?
I really want to watch Fear and Loathing on Sunday night.
How are you working me into this? I'm for it.
Okay.
Are you kidding?
Because the day after the stream, and it's like you need recovery time.
No, Saturday night is when I need. No. Saturday night is the day after the stream. Sunday night, I'm fine. Saturdays.
Okay, so maybe Sunday
night.
night on stream or on Float. Make sure you get a Float account. Follow Liberty Late Night, and you gotta be there when we do it. You won't get a push notification. You gotta do it. They're working on that.
Jacob. Also, Jacob, I just want to. Okay, I'm gonna message you later. Never mind. I'm just. Yes, message me because Dave doesn't check his messages.
I do. I'm living on social media. I am addicted.
No, I wanted to explain why you were concerned about what he wanted to ask.
Oh yeah.
Because Dave didn't know that was an actual thing.
FLOTE,
yeah.
Adam.
No.
Float.app, app.
Yes, so go get the acid because we're going to watch Fear and Loathing. Holy shit. Y'all don't even need drugs to watch this movie.
It does a very good job.
Yeah. I mean,
but to go with our meme for tonight's promo.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're in Bat Country now. And then the 5th of November is coming up quick, so you know what movie's coming up then.
Yeah.
Go the fuck to bed. Juan's only saying that because he wants to go to bed.
No, Juan is saying that because he loves
Good night,
you
FBI.
as is Sonny and as Quirt. They love you and they care about you and they know the effect that Night Mary has. I'm the lady in red. If you've ever watched Game of Thrones, we're on season 4.
Oh, yeah, you are.
I am, I know.
You're making me stare in that fire and kill myself.
I fucking hate that bitch. I'm like, why are you controlling him? Oh, that's me, Night Mary. Dave, stay up a little bit later.
Twain, you might be in trouble. You downloaded Flute. I can't verify what that's going to do to your operating system.
No.
All right, now I gotta pee
Okay,
too.
I really am gonna pee. I love you guys.
All right, so we're gonna play some music on our outro that doesn't get bashed by YouTube because PewDiePie's the fucking boss.
Yeah.
Hold on, what's this one? Which one was it?
I have yet to try
Was it this
DMT.
Ah, liberals!
Not that one. This one.
Want to
Is it? Reach down
try
there.
it though? Yeah, no. All right, really though, I want to listen to the song,
Right.
but I'm pretty sure I can't. Yeah. Okay, guys, I love y'all. Dave,
All right, we out.
I have to pee.
Good night, guys.
3 babies.
I don't like your T-Series. Nothing personal, kid. But I must go all out. Just this once. Bob's or Vagana, whichever will it be. Set the fuck down, T-Series, I'm here to spill the real tea. You tryna dethrone me from spot on number 1, but you in the year you lose, so best think you haven't won. When I'm through with you, we're gonna be completely fucking done, cause we only just begun. I review you, 0 vibe is gone. So come on, T-Series, looking hungry for some drama. Here, let me serve you bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series just whip himself in their pajamas. So who the hell is Bob and why you wanna kiss him? Ew. I'm a blue-eyed white dragon while you're just dark magician. Oof. You got a fifth of the population in your nation, but I got 90 rolls the world's a whole, your defecation. Oops. Multipatlo, what the fuck is that even supposed to mean? Your language sounds like it come from a mumble rap community. No papa, yes papa, Johnny. Now download the sugar and let's throw this fucking party with some bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just wet in their pajama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. You got a population of 1.32 billion, but most you're the idiot.
Magic Potty Baby learn to use her potty. Flush and you're ready for next time.
Magic Potty Baby, I'm so glad that you're mine.
Magic Potty Baby and her Magic Potty. No water, no mess. Batteries not included.
Why did you leave me? Why did you leave me?